I'm here. It's me. Let me just turn this. Let's pause that. What's good? Brah, brah, brah. What's going on? What's going on? Hey, Lude, how's it going, buddy? Hopefully, I'm not too loud or too quiet. I might be whispering right now. Just taking a big swig on my drink. Alright, yeah, so everything is ready to go. I'm going to be playing one of my favorite open world crafting survival-esque type games, Starbound. It's just Terraria in space, basically. But I've always loved it more than Terraria, even though I have probably equal. I think I've got 400 hours in both games. But this one absolutely takes the cake. And we're just going to dive right on in there. That little thing's popping up. How do I get rid of that? There you go. No more popping up on me. Oh. Alright, I'm going to minimize my character. Just a little bit. We in space, though, boys. I think I muted the sound in game. Let's correct that. Volume mixer. Starbound. Thanks, man. It's a free model I got, so it's like nothing I can be too proud about. But I love it. I think it looks great. Alright, I'm not going to create like a new game or anything. This is still relatively new. I started playing this game again within the last couple of days. And I've just been really digging it. I've mostly been like listening to like YouTube commentary, like videos or by podcasts or something. And just playing this on the side. I forgot you could change the backgrounds in here. So yeah, at this point in the game, I'm kind of just wandering about. I have a lot of mods in this. And I kind of just have it open that I can go like anywhere I want to, which is pretty dope. So like this is like, I've only been to, I think 1, 2, 3. I've been to these 3 star systems. And then like I could just keep going forever. Each of these is like another star system with, if I jump back, each star system has various planets and ships that will fly around. Can I even do anything if I'm just out in the dead of space? I probably can't I? No. So I haven't explored here. I do need to get some gold for this quest, which shouldn't be too hard if this planet has gold on it. We'll see as soon as I get there. Is it a friendly ship? It's a hostile ship. I do need to attack hostile ships. Alright, there's gold here, but we're going to go for the ship first. Because I've got a second quest I need to do to get a better mech suit. So we can only go out in my mech. Batteries are just health. You can see the blue bar is my health going down. It's like health and energy. There's our ship. I've got this broken weapon I found just recently. It's got like a homing attack, so I've just been using that. Bunch of mercenary mushroom people. This thing just like rapes people. This is insane how quickly it goes through. Maybe that's not the right wording, but it was the first word I thought of. Alright, can I steal any of this stuff? Alright. I hate how this window is like right in the middle of the screen every time. I don't think I can... I think I can just loot these. Oh, there's more gold. Okay, that might help me, so I probably won't have to go to the planet. Alright, I don't think I can... Nah, I can't take any of these. So I can't go in this room. I want to go in here. I'll probably scan those. Alright, so we're just gonna bounce. And then we're gonna go back to my home base, which I wanted to move my home base, but I've been doing so much work to it, and I like the look of it, that even though I could find it easily at this point in the game a better planet, I like the look of this a lot. I can put my champion statue. Where are my other two statues? There they are. This can go in there. Oh, it's one more down. What's a big old statue? What's up, Onion? Hope it's going good on your end. Let's see. I want to save this sword, too. That I just got. I can sell that. These things I can put away. Oh, I need to make the gold. Still need more. Put that in there. Alright, so I need... I have the titanium and I have the silver. I need gold. Which I probably could find on this planet, to be honest. But... oh, I'm sorry it's not going good, man. I hope everything gets better for you. Just, keep your chin up. Hopefully things start going your way. I know how tough the world can be. It can be really shitty sometimes. But I hope that me goofing around is enough to at least make you forget about some of the bad in the world. Let's see. I want to upgrade this mech, so I think I need to do this quest with these bars first. I kept getting sidetracked, and I upgraded my ship. Your ship does not start off that huge. It's really small. That's like the 4th upgrade I've done to it, so it's pretty big now. And really just to upgrade is you just need money, so I've just been like farming money like crazy. Yeah, I don't know why people don't like Starbound. That's something that's weird. It's like people are like really torn where they're like, well, Terraria is better. And it's like, Terraria is good. Like, I like Terraria a lot. But I just love Starbound being like, you can... Starbound feels more like open and like you can do whatever you want. And it's like, it does suck that it's like, yeah, like you eventually get to a point where it's like you go to another planet and it's like these NPCs have like similar quests to everything else that you've done so far up to this point. Like, that's kind of lame. I wish that this game got more love, because I don't even know when the last update for this game was, but I know it's probably been years. And I mean, it has the boss element too. Like, I have a mod that removes the story boss fights, because they're just, that's not my favorite part of Terraria either. I like the progression in it. I like the building in it and the crafting and like just like the being able to do silly things. And I think people calling Starbound Terraria in space might have not been a good idea, because it is very different in its own game. I mean, it's made by Chucklefish, and I feel like they've made other games that are popular too. They made Stardew, yeah. And now he's working on Chocolatier. I know that's the next one. They made Wargroove. Starbound's just so good. Like, I don't even know how to put it into words other than this game is so much fun. Because I think because it's left so open-ended and you can mod so much in this game, that's why I love it. There's a mod for anything. I have a mod in this that I haven't really messed around with too much, but it adds magic to the game. And then, like, you can, like, train to, like, have different weapons that are, like, magic-based. And it's like I've kind of messed around with it a little bit, but, like, not enough to, like... I think, like, some of the green gear that I'm using as cosmetic is now... This was, like, gear from that mod. But there's, like, another mod where it's, like, it adds a ton of more technology. I was looking at mods before I started this because I wanted to add more to it. I don't know who Total Biscuit is. That name sounds familiar. I mean, I'm not big on, like... I don't watch people's channels. Like, I'm very lame and picky with who I watch. That name does sound familiar. But yeah, like, Minecraft's something that I love too, but I feel like I can't get back into it. And if I had to pick between Minecraft or Terraria... I don't know, man. I'd probably pick Terraria. I love Minecraft, but I feel like Terraria is more rewarding, maybe is the word I'm looking for. I feel like I get more out of it. You watch Ash, silly? I do watch Ash, that's true. I like their work a lot, but I don't... It is funny because, like, it wasn't until I started watching Ash out of, like, nowhere that I started, like, even watching YouTubers. Like, I just found out about, and this is gonna sound ridiculously silly, but I just found out about Moist Critical, and, like, I'm like, oh, this guy's really cool. Like, I like his commentary and stuff like that. And, like, here he's, like, he's just always been famous on YouTube, and it's like, I've never heard of this guy until, like, maybe a month ago. And it wasn't until I started following Ash that I was like, you know what, maybe YouTube's more than just a place for me to listen to music, because that's all I used it for. I probably will mine this faster with my gun. Yeah, this is so much faster. Yeah, so I don't know who Total Biscuit is, but R.I.P. because I see that you said that to the late Total Biscuit. I'm sure he was a cool guy. I know the name Tobuscus sounds familiar, but I think that's from like one of the documentaries I've been watching recently. And I know he was like some kind of YouTuber that made it big, and he did Minecraft. But that's probably someone completely different, because I think he's still alive. He's just not a very popular person anymore. I keep wanting to make archaeologist stuff in this game, and then I forget to do it, and then I start going into caves and I see dinosaur bones on the wall, and I go, I should have made archaeology stuff. Because they're like brushes, and they're one-time use, but then like you can get... It's something I've never done, but I guess you can like create dinosaurs, like statues, almost like Animal Crossing. So, that's something that's pretty cool. Yeah, like there's something that's on the wall I can't get. That's copper up there, so we're gonna go this way. I have every upgrade for my sphere and jump and stuff like that. For the techs, I have every upgrade. So these tech cards mean nothing now. I just unlocked the last one yesterday. Ooh, here we go. These are the ones I need. I need the matter. Stop attacking me, man. I need the matter manipulator modules. Alright, we're gonna go in here. These are like little challenge rooms where it's like, can you complete the challenge? But like at the point at where I am with like technology, like I can very well cheese most of this. I can go in here. Okay, that's a wall. Cheeses another way. Nope. Whoop. What am I doing? There we go. This is why the spike ball is my favorite tech. I could just do this. I cheese so much in this game. There's nothing. See, I'm doing these mostly for the matter manipulators, which I almost have at full power, which is crazy. How much more do I need? 4 more. There we go, 3 more. 500% power. Compared to how it is at the starting of the game, I feel like I'm flying through dirt and other material. Still don't see any gold. I think that's gold right there. So yeah, anyone who's never seen this game, unlike most games where it's like, oh, you have to make a pick and you have to make like a shovel or an axe and stuff like that. No. In this game, they give you this tool called a matter manipulator. And it's just like, right out the gate, it's like, okay, you can like harvest anything by clicking on it. And you left click to hit stuff in the foreground, and then you right click to collect stuff in the background, and then to place it you just grab the blocks and left click places it in the foreground and right click places it in the background. So It's pretty awesome. And then it lets you also do like wiring and painting, and there's the scanning tool in this. If you scan certain items, it allows you to unlock the crafting recipes for them. So usually when I run into places like temples or villages, I try to scan as many things as possible, because most of the stuff I've scanned at this point, but then I keep adding mods that might add some items. Like, let's see if I have this chest. So this chest is blue, so I don't have it. So now it's red, so it's unlocked. Ooh. Ooh, that looks sick. Okay, I might switch up my costume. I've had this costume for a while now. I, like, look like some kind of, like, rough and tumble thug from high school. Something, like, out of JoJo. Maybe that's why his name sounds familiar, because if he did Warcraft Radio. Oh man, that sucks. R.I.P. Let me look him up real quick, actually, because that name sounds so familiar. I might have even seen his stuff. Oh yeah, he's the dude who looks kind of like Notch. Oh man, he sounds so familiar. I had to have seen this guy at some point. He had liver cancer. It was terminal. Wow. He kept reviewing games until only a few weeks before he died. Good man. That top hat looks so familiar. Like, I definitely have seen this guy, but it literally had to have been over a decade ago that I saw this guy's stuff. Yeah, that's... I mean, and he wasn't too old either. That shit's whack. He died, like, in his 30s, because he's my age, or he would have been my age, so he would have been 30. Well, he was 1984, and I was 89, so, I mean, he's not much older than me. But still, like, to die that young is, like, that's never a good thing. That shit whack, yo. He died at 33. Fuck, man. That's so rough. I can't imagine. I can't imagine both being that successful at such a young age and then dying at a young age. That's like, that's so heartbreaking. I keep getting sidetracked with all the other ore. Okay, there's a good amount of gold here. I'm trying to think about who I watched. I mean, I watched Angry Video Game Nerd because he was like one of the first channels I watched. I liked the scary stuff he used to do on his channel for Cinemassacre. And then obviously his game reviews were funny too. And they've aged well. Like, I can go back, I feel like I can go back and like they're still funny, which is great. And then, like, I kind of stopped watching his stuff, not for any reason other than, like, I mean, he didn't really make whenever he makes a video, I like try to stop everything I'm doing and watch it. But he doesn't make too many videos, and when he does, it's usually like monumental. And then I remember when Let's Plays started to become really popular. The first streamer I probably watched, he wasn't even a streamer. He just was making Let's Plays. The first one that I ever watched was for Minecraft, and Minecraft was brand new. And I had just started college, and I remember going to the cafeteria at the college and buying, like, alpha or beta access, I forget which stage it was in, for $15. And I didn't know anything about the game. And I watched this guy named X, and he did a short series called X Plays Minecraft. I think it went for, like, I say short, it probably was, like, 50-some episodes, which is, like, not short at all. And, he was, like, just as lost as I was, and, like, no one else, like, I couldn't find anything else about Minecraft other than this guy, so I was like, oh, I'll just watch his stuff. And, I think he, like, did that, and then that was it. Like, I don't think he did much more. So, yeah, like, even PewDiePie, like, I don't know anything about the guy, other than, like, he said the N-word once on a bridge, and, like, people, like, either love him or hate him. And it's like, I really don't have an opinion of him either way. Like, he's just a guy. His stuff's probably not something I would want to watch, because it seems like it's aimed more towards, like, the younger audience. Like, I probably would have liked it when I was in that age demographic, but it probably wouldn't be so great now. I watched a lot of Game Grumps when I was in college, too. And then it got to the point where I realized I wasn't, and I watched the original stuff mostly. I think when Dan came on was like when I stopped watching it, and I only stopped watching it because I realized I was watching Game Grumps so much that I actually wasn't playing video games anymore, and that made me sad. So I was like, I have to consciously stop watching people on YouTube, and I kept that up for the longest time. Like, I just wouldn't watch people on YouTube outside of like music or like brief guides on certain things. So that stayed with me for a long time, because I was like, I wanted to be able to enjoy things. The only other big person I could think of that's still around who I would probably start watching again is Vinesauce. I really like Vinny Vinesauce, and knowing that he doesn't live very far from me was really cool. And he's like not much older than me too, and he also really likes Chrono Trigger, and that's like, I played Chrono Trigger a lot when I was younger. So like there was like a lot of things that I felt like I loved his sense of humor too. Like, I was like, I get this guy. And then like through him I found like Joel, who is a part of Vinesauce also. Varg Skeletor, his name is. And yeah, I mean, I'm talking about like back when like Twitch was still like, I think he was on Justin TV. He might not have been, but I remember like back in the day when like Twitch, you could just have a Twitch stream running for 24 hours a day, and like people would just jump in. So like it was this whole community. It was almost like a radio show, and it's like there'd be like it's like, oh, at this time it's this person streaming, and then at this time it's this person streaming, and they'd all be on the same channel, and it was just so much fun back then. And nowadays, it's like, I feel like Twitch is not what it used to be, and it's pretty sad, but I haven't watched anything on Twitch in so long that, like, it doesn't affect me too much, which is good. The only thing I watched on Twitch regularly was when I worked night shifts. Buzzer TV had a Twitch channel for some reason, and they would just air game shows 24/7 with no commercial breaks, and it was just like, I would just sit at my night shift job and just watch old game shows from like the 1950s, and like, I love game shows. They're one of my favorite things on TV, and it was brilliant. It like got me through those night shifts. Be working from 9 at night until 9 in the morning, and it's like I had no social life, so I just watched old game shows. Yeah, AVGN is more into film for sure. I met him A few years ago, I say a few years, I keep saying it, and it probably was like almost 20 years ago at this point. But I met him at Too Many Games when it was in Oaks, Pennsylvania, and I was going to go. I think I was going to go just on my own, and then my girlfriend at the time was like, "Oh, I want to go too," because AVGN was there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, like I like his stuff," but like I wasn't going for him. I was going because I just wanted to go and check it out. I've never been to a con before, so it was like my first like mini local con, and it was okay. Um, Omo Cat was there, and I bought a sweatshirt with Samajimi Mamimi from Fully Cooley on it because she is my original waifu, and I've never cheated on her once. Ever. And, so we go there, and my girlfriend is, like, blown away by, AVGN, and it's just like, oh, I love your work, and blah, 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 blah. And, like, at this point in time, like, I'm trying to think what his latest video would have been when we went there. I don't remember what it was. But I had stopped kind of watching his stuff. Like, I kind of watched it when it came out, and that was it. And I'm not the kind of person to... I'm not the kind of person to go back and rewatch things. I don't get enjoyment out of that. So I can't go back and watch his stuff. And, like, I can now because, like, I feel like it's been long enough that I could go back and watch his stuff and it feels new to me. But I can't rewatch TV shows. I can't rewatch movies. I have to give it enough time to get out of my head that it's weird. That's why, like, I'm very picky with, like, certain things that I watch. And there's very few shows I can go back and rewatch over and over again. But anyway, one of my favorite videos from AVGN was called The Blue Hole, and it was kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like R.L. Stein. It was like kind of like a Goosebumps episode that he made, like in that vein of like it's a creepy urban story, and it was really good, and I really loved the concept of like what he was going for, and he was like talking about like something that like not many people knew about. So it's not like he was doing something about like, oh, it's the Jersey Devil. It's like everybody knows about the Jersey Devil. Like it was related to the New Jersey Devil, but it was like specifically just this hole that he would reside in like the lake somewhere in the Pine Barrens in New Jersey. And I don't want to talk about the whole story, but like about the movie, because it's really good. But yeah, I met AVGN, and my girlfriend at the time was like blown away and like shaking his hand and saying like, oh, I love your video on this video game and this video game. And I could tell that like he was tired and kind of like wanted just to go home. And like, so he wasn't like really giving her eye contact, which like I get it. Like you've been shaking people's hands for the last 6 hours now, and you've been doing autographs, and he had done a panel too. And let me tell you, man, going to that panel was like the most embarrassing thing. I felt secondhand embarrassment. Like the questions that he was being asked by like these nerds was like, it made me like kind of like hate myself in a way, where I was like, I'm a nerd, but like I'm not this bad. But yeah, like I'm standing next to her and she's shaking his hand, and he's like not really paying attention to her and just like, oh yeah, like blah blah blah, and he's signing whatever it was that she wanted autographed. And then I turned to him and I go, oh, I really liked your... Or no, he saw me standing there, and he thought I had something to sign. I was like, oh, no, I don't have anything to sign. And I said, but I really liked your video, The Blue Hole. And he stopped signing her book, and he put the pen down and looked over at me and said, thank you. And he reached out and shook my hand. And it was like... It was so cool. Like, it was such a cool experience because, like, while the AVGN stuff is so funny, and, like, I can go back and watch it today and like still enjoy it, and it's been like monumental in like how humor is done on the internet. He did something that he was passionate about, and it didn't get a lot of traction, and I might have been like one of the few people who like appreciated that work that he had done. So like that was a really good moment where I was just like, oh yeah, like I really like this thing that you did, and he could tell that I was genuinely like appreciative of it, and we talked a little bit about it, but it was a good experience to meet him. Oh yeah, he's absolutely a filmmaker at heart. He like, if he could, I feel like he would just go off and make his own like who is it, Troika, like who did the Toxic Avenger. Like I feel like he would make horror movies of that level, which would be so funny to go and see, and they'd be so awesome. But I feel like he's probably stuck being the angry video game nerd, which sucks. Because that's not his first passion. That was like a goofy thing that he did on the side. So like even when he did make the Angry Video Game Nerd movie, which I've never seen but I've heard it's not great, I'm sure he wasn't passionate about the source material, and that shows probably in the work. But he seemed like a nice guy. I really thought he was going to be like some like, oh, like you never meet your heroes type thing. The only other celebrity I ever met was I met Adam West, and it was at the second convention I ever went to. I was invited to go to Comic-Con with a friend of mine who had a small blog, and he was interviewing people there who did like horror movies and stuff like that, and just kind of like going around the convention. And I was like, yeah, I'll go to Comic-Con, and it sucked. It was like, I was like, I don't ever want to be around these kind of people ever again. Like, this is terrible. So I think that was the last convention I ever would go to, or ever went to, and I would never change that. But I went backstage because there was a bathroom there, and the closest bathroom was really far away, and I was like, I'm not walking all the way to this bathroom. Like, I have to go now. And I went backstage, and I used the bathroom, and then I was leaving the bathroom, and one of the bouncers or, like, security guards was there, and was, like ready to throw me out. And I felt a hand go on my shoulder, and it was just some old guy, and I recognized him as Adam West, and he was like, and Adam West was like, he's with me, don't worry about it, and like let me out from the back room, and I thanked him, and I apologized because the only thing that at that moment, the only thing I remembered him for was being the mayor in Family Guy, and it's like I knew he was the original Batman, but that was at that moment I could only think of that, so I said thank you to him, and like just went our separate ways. Like he had a panel he had to go do, and that was it. Like I thought he was a cool guy. He seemed like a genuinely nice person. Oh, I don't know if I've seen that one. I might have seen it years ago, because it sounds kind of familiar. If it's like an like biography of himself. Can I do anything with all these crystals? I kind of want to collect more if I can. Alright, get some of this gold. How much gold do I have? 120. That might not be enough still. What do I need? 21 more bars. I'll go till I get 200. I'll tell you, I don't know how streamers can talk so much. Like, just talking about what I was saying a minute ago, I felt like I was getting out of breath. Which is probably like one of the fattest things I've ever said. Like I couldn't even talk. I was getting exhausted from talking. Hey, what's going on, man? How's it going? Mostly positive. I think I've seen you in Ash's chat before. I'm doing pretty good. I'm getting there. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. I'm doing pretty good. there's no if, ands, or buts. Just digging for some gold. Ooh, what's that? I try to collect the chest if I can every time I open a chest, just because if I come back here for whatever reason, usually I go to another planet, so like it's not even like a bother. But I guess if I have to backtrack, if I see a chest, I don't go out of my way to reopen it and then realize, oh, I've already looted this. It's just easier to just pick it up. What music am I into? I'm into like a little bit of everything. I'd play like my own, like I would play music on here, but I think that gets like the VOD muted or something, so I'm not about to do that. So like the music that I play when I'm like starting up the stream is what's that word called? Open, eminent domain, free music, free to play music, free something. But I specifically looked for dungeon core because it's like really like eerie and kind of relaxing, like dungeon synth, not dungeon core. My bad. Because I do like that kind of stuff, like stuff by Questmaster. I'll put on my office, and it's just like very atmospheric and pretty chill. Polka music. I have the one song that's polka, beer barrel something. The one that's like roll out the barrel, we'll have a barrel of fun. I really like that song a lot because it's like nonsensical, and I enjoy it. I mean, like, as far as rap goes, I don't really have anything that's major, but there are rap songs out there I like. I guess the genre, probably the better question is, which music genre don't I like? And it probably would be country, unequivocally. I've not heard a country song that I didn't unironically enjoy. Like, I'll make fun of, like, don't tear my heart, my achy breaky heart. Like, that stuff's funny. Like, older, like, 90s and, like, early 2000s country stuff is, like, so corny. But, like, these days, country music is just rap for white people. And it's, like, it shows so hard, and it's, like, I can't stand, I can't stand this music. It's just, like, it's so bad. It's like, I'm driving my truck, and I'm beating my wife. Like, that's all country music is today, and I hate it. I think it's so dumb. And, my parents enjoy it. Or at least my mom enjoys it, and it's like I kind of, I have to leave. I can't listen to it. It's so bad. Oh, thanks, mostly positive. It does extend to replaying games. I can't. I feel like there. I also feel like there's a point where if I've played a game long enough, I can easily get burnt out on it and I just won't finish it, which sucks. A good example of that would be like almost any of the Pokemon games. I was really into Pokemon again, like recently, and like I went all out. I was playing Let's Go, Eevee. I was playing Shining, not Pearl, Brilliant Diamond. I was playing. Um, Violet, I was playing, and Arceus. And I was playing all four of them, and I would just cycle through them. If I got bored with one of them, I would cycle to the next one. And I enjoyed them, but I could start feeling that I was beginning to get burnt out, so I consciously made the choice to stop playing them. And they're sitting next to me on my left, and I don't have a capture card, and I really don't intend to get a capture card either, because any console game or handheld game I'm going to play on stream, I'm just going to get a ROM for. Like, I mean, maybe if I want to do this more than just, like, a little hobby, I might get a capture card, but I can't see that happening. But, like, another good example is Darkest Dungeon. I love Darkest Dungeon. I think it is a brilliant example of making a game that is unfair but so much fun. And there was one run I did where I put in close to 18 hours into a party, and I was so excited, and I was getting closer, and then my party like wiped, and I felt so disheartened that I just never returned to it. And that had to have been, let's actually check, let me open up Steam. Darkest Dungeon. I still have it saved in my favorites because it's not only that, but Darkest Dungeon 2 I bought and have not played. And I bought it the day it launched, and I have not played. I've not opened the game. I have it installed and I've not opened it. The last time I played Darkest Dungeon, and this can't be real because it says 2022, and I feel like I stopped playing in like 2016. That had to have been like I jumped in to force myself to play and I couldn't do it. But yeah, there's a lot of games on my list where it's like I can't go back and enjoy this game. I have to give it a good amount of time before I can enjoy it again. Let me just turn the music down a little bit. I don't know if it's loud on your end, but it is loud on my end, even at 25 out of 100. Yeah, there are just games that I can't ever play again unless it's been like a decent amount of time. And I don't know where that really stems from. I remember I had to have been in middle school, but I remember playing Super Mario World Yoshi's Island, the one with Baby Mario in it, and you play as Yoshi. And I got to the boss that's a piranha plant, and I could not beat him. I just couldn't. It was like the most infuriating thing as a kid, and I couldn't. Everything I did, I couldn't beat him. And then I stopped playing it, and I came back to the game when I was like in my 20s, and I was like, oh, I'll hook up my SNES and I'll play this game again. So like we're talking like a decade I had to wait until I played it. And then I remember getting to that boss, and he was the easiest boss ever, and I was like, how did I struggle as a kid? And I 100% of that game, and it was so much fun to go back to. I probably could play it again now because it has been like another 10 or 15 years since that time, because I probably did that back in like 2010, 2012. I think I had just graduated high school. Well, I graduated high school in 2008, and then I went to college for a little bit, and then I went and worked at Target because college wasn't working out. So yeah, it was probably like when I was working at Target, I was like, oh, let me hook up my Super Nintendo. So we're talking like the Wii was the console of the time. So yeah, it's been a long time since I played that game. I probably could play that again. That's a fun game from what I remember. And I would try it out 100% it again because that was really cool. There's like one of the stages One of the last stages you unlock is literally like a beta test level, so like assets are just all over the place, and it looks so weird. And it's like it's barely playable, the level. Like it's so fun. I think it was even called like Castle Test 1, and it's just it's so cool. I remember finding that level and being like, this is the coolest thing ever. But yeah, it takes a while for me to go back to even attempt to replay a game. I think WoW is probably easily the game that I've quit and gone back to the most, and it's also a game that I struggle with because like I have like this weird brain thing where, and it's not like any kind of like medical thing, it's just I have a weird thing in my head where it's like, oh, I don't deserve to play a game, I don't deserve to have fun right now, and it's just something I struggle with, and it's really retarded, and I don't know why I suffer with it. And I would sit in front of my computer for 2 or 3 hours and just stare at the computer and then just be like, oh, I guess I'll go to bed now. And I wouldn't have done anything. I literally wouldn't have done anything. And I just would get into these moods where it's like, I don't deserve to have fun. I haven't earned having fun was like a big thing in my head. And I had to go to years of therapy and to kind of work that out. And it still happens from time to time. But then I'll be like, no, man. And I'll force myself. And then, like, 20 minutes in, I'll be like, yeah, why was I being dumb earlier? And I don't know. Like, I feel like that's something that I hope other people don't deal with it because it's really shitty and I wouldn't wish something like that onto anybody. But I'm sure someone out there, like, also knows what I mean in a weird way. Marty Robbins. I gotta listen to Marty Robbins. Is that a country singer? Oh. Yeah. No, I've got Big Iron on my thing. I guess that, yeah, that's country music. I have that just because Big Iron was like a meme song. I've got Johnny Cash on here too. Is he still alive? Hold on. No, 82. It did not list date of death. I see that he was born in 1925, but there's no list of his date of death. That would be wild if he was still alive. Dude would be like 99. Yeah, but no, like I've got Johnny Cash and stuff on there, but like I almost don't consider that country. That's like more rock to me. And it's so good. Like it's so enjoyable, that stuff. Hold on. I'm noticing that there's a lot of pings I'm getting on Discord, and when I'm in streamer mode, I don't hear them. Oh. Sorry, I'm talking Star Trek with somebody. Uh-oh. Are there any issues with my connection? Someone messaged me and said that my connection's going in and out. Maybe it is my connection. I mean, I'm not hardwired. Do I play games often? Probably not as often as I used to. I had over 5... wait, no, how many years was it? I have to figure this out again. I always mess up the calculation. Hours to years. Yeah, I had over 5 years that I played on World of Warcraft, and I don't mean like that I played World of Warcraft for 5 years. I mean that my in-game timer was 46,000 hours, which is 5.25 years. And that was on a single character. So I used to play games way too much. Now I'm way more into board games and card games, not like competitive card games. Yeah, man. We could be Star Trek buddies too. I'm talking to like a friend of mine who, him and I, when we worked together, we would talk about Star Trek all the time, and he just messaged me about it. But I used to play games way more. Right now, I'm in a period where like I'm getting back into it because like my brain is working a little bit better, and I feel like I deserve to have fun. It's weird, but I do the same thing with TV shows. Like, I won't sit down and watch, like, an anime or, like, a new TV show on TV because it's like, oh, I haven't earned that yet. And I'm slowly getting to that point where it's like, okay, maybe I will sit down and watch this show. So it's just a weird brain thing. A game that I beat and regret playing it. Ooh. That's a good question. There are definitely animes I've watched in full and then been like, why did I do that? But is there a game that I've played? Probably not, because I'm really good at, like, being like, if this is my gauge of if I'm having fun and if I should just bounce, is if I start looking at my phone more than I'm playing the game or watching the movie or watching the TV show, if I'm, like, distracting myself with something else, it's time for me to go. So, like, if I'm playing a video game and I feel like I would rather be doing something else, then I would bounce pretty soon. So is there a game I regret playing? Not really. The closest I could come to, and it's kind of like... It's kind of not true, but it kind of is probably Counter-Strike. Because I bought CSGO to play with a friend of mine, and then he, like, bounced and was like, oh, I don't play that anymore. And then I couldn't return the game to Steam because, like, it had been over the date. And that's a game that I probably don't have very much time in. Let me see. CSGO. So the last time I played it was October 5th, 2018, and I have 6 hours in it. And I don't even know what I did for those 6 hours. And well, that's Counter-Strike. Hold on. That's Counter-Strike 2. Where's Go? I thought I had Go. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't like... I like first-person shooters when they're, like, objective-based, like Team Fortress 2. Counter-Strike, where, like, you get shot and then you have to wait for the round to be over to rejoin, is just so boring. So that's probably... And I paid full price for that. I paid 50 or 60 bucks for it. And, like, that sucks. Like, I regretted playing that game because it's, like, it's already something I don't enjoy. And then I paid full price for it just because my friend, like, bothered me into buying it. And then, like, he was just like, oh, I don't play that anymore. So it's just like, why did I even bother this? Yeah, I mean that was mostly what it was. Mostly positive. Was it was definitely depression hitting me super hard, and I didn't even have like much to do on YouTube or forums. Hold on, my dog's crying. What do you want? Huh? You can go on my bed. Jump up. Hold on. Yeah, like, my big thing was, like, I would just sleep a lot. So it's like, oh, that sucks. Like, those are not good days. Um, Starfield. Isn't that the one that God Howard recently came out with? And there was, like, a lot of people, like, being like, this game's awful. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, that didn't look appealing to me at all. I bought No Man's Sky, and I played that a little bit, and then, like, that game, I feel like, has only gotten better. It's not something I regularly play, but it's something that I enjoyed playing, and I got it, like, on hella discount. Like, I'm not paying full prices for games anymore. That was, like, a big thing I realized was, like, if I pay full price for a game, and I don't enjoy it in, like, it doesn't blow me away, I get upset. Because there's nothing wrong with putting a game on your wish list and then just waiting. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. So, my wish list is pretty big. Um, and I get the game when I get the game is how I see it. Ooh, that's rough. No ultimate goal. That's kind of what this game is, Starbound. Like, there is an ultimate goal, but I removed the I have a mod that removes the story bosses and, like, the story elements from this, so, like, it literally doesn't have a point. But I feel like there's enough here that I could, like, have fun. If this was an MMO, like, if this was, like, I could fly around and bump into other players who could be hostile, I think this game would be so much fun. And there's probably a mod that does that. I wouldn't be surprised if someone's, like, invented some kind of, like, server MMO style mod for this game. Because the modding community sounds pretty hype. Okay, I have most of this stuff scanned, I think, because I've been to another penal colony before. But I'm gonna, like, destroy these people. What's my inventory like? I might be able to loot everything from here. Yeah, I don't know what has happened to Star Trek. It's really bad right now. It's not in a good place, and it hasn't been in a good place since, like, the J.J. Abrams movies. And I didn't grow up watching Star Trek. It was something I got into later. It was actually something I got into when the Wii U came out, because the Wii U, you could get Netflix, and you could watch on the smaller screen. And I remember, like, I think I was home with, like, I had surgery. I had that surgery where they break your legs and make you taller. No, I had like a nose surgery for, I had a deviated septum, so, like, I couldn't breathe out of the right side of my nose. And for a time, it was fixed. And, Star Trek was something that my friends were all into. And they would talk about it, and, like, I didn't get the references they were making, so I was like, maybe I'll watch this eventually. And then it was on Netflix, and I was like, well, I've got Netflix. Maybe I'll just watch this TNG show, and I loved it. I was like, this is incredible. So yeah, like, it literally wasn't something I got into until, like, what was that? Like 2015, maybe. And I just loved it from the start. I was like, this is fantastic. And I started with TNG, and then I remember thinking I should watch these in order. So I forget which season I stopped. It might have been like season 3 or 4 for TNG, but I stopped watching it, and then instead I watched the TOS, the original series, and it's alright. Like, it's so hokey and, like, silly, and there were definitely episodes made where it was like, these were the costumes we had on set today, so, like, this is why this is the episode. So, like, it was goofy, and I enjoyed it, and I've definitely seen worse, but it's not my favorite. I could see how TOS was, like, beloved by an entire generation, though. Like, it's definitely a great series for what it did. So I watched that, and then I finished up TNG, and I was like, this is great. Like, I don't know how they're going to top TNG. And then I watched Deep Space Nine, and I was like, this is pod racing right here. Like, TNG is fantastic, and it's one of my favorite TV series, like TV shows, but DS9 is so good. Like, I can't even get over how good it is. There's not a stinker in the entire series. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm sure there's episodes that are bad. There's not an episode that's, like, Sub Rosa bad. That might be one of the worst pieces of crap ever. There's an episode of TNG called Sub Rosa where the doctor on the ship, Beverly Crusher, has sex with a space ghost that has been haunting her family since they came over in the Mayflower. Like an ancestral ghost that has just been making her ancestor, like her female ancestors, orgasm for like hundreds and hundreds of years. Hilarious shit like that. Like it is one of the most atrocious pieces of garbage I've ever seen that episode. And there's nothing that bad in DS9. But DS9 does have, yeah, I mean, it has its ups and downs. I'm trying to think of, like, some bad episodes. It's hard to think of a bad episode when it's, like, I don't have a list in front of me. Let me go through it. Let's sidetrack for a little bit. Deep Space Nine episodes. Let's do a window capture of this. Is window capture the right thing? Yeah, I think so. Alright. Come on. I'm trying to zoom this out. Not game capture, window capture. Alright. I'm going to turn off the Starbound music too. We'll put this back on. Alright, so episodes 1 and 2, that's a two-parter with the emissary. When Cisco shows up to the station and one of the Bajoran leaders is like, oh, like, I think he is able to look in their little box that they have on the, like that they have in one of their temples, and it's like it has an orb in it. Yeah. The 8 mystical and powerful orbs, and one of them gives Cisco like future visions and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, like you can speak with the prophets, and the prophets are like these aliens that like are above. They live outside of time and space, and they live in like this wormhole, and the wormhole appears next to, at the end of the episode too. The wormhole appears next to the space station, Deep Space Nine, that they're in, and it becomes like a major plot point. Is like there's this wormhole that can go to another quadrant in space, and like we're talking like so far away that even with like light speed technology, it would take them like hundreds of years to get there, and so it becomes like a major trade route, and so that's like how everything builds up. So like there's a lot of and I think that the main reason I like DS9 so much is that it happens on a space station with like the same cast of people just kind of living their day-to-day lives, but then there's like also like a rotating cast of like new people who are joining the station. Like Worf eventually joins. Jadzia's in the original episodes. The Doctor. Bashir's in the original episodes. O'Brien comes from TNG to DS9, which is awesome because he was one of my favorite characters in TNG, even though like he barely got any straight screen time. And then you have Kira, who is a badass, and she's like a domestic terrorist. Which is really funny, and there's a lot of like plot points like circling around that. My one buddy hates her because she's a terrorist, but also like he thinks she's really annoying, and she kind of is. But I also think like she's way less annoying by the end of the series because like she's grown as a person. And there are definitely plenty of episodes that she's in where like she realizes that like maybe the terroristic stuff I did was bad. Like, even though she's literally fighting space Nazis, she's like, yeah, maybe, like, not all of them deserved what I did. Past prologue. I don't remember that episode. That probably brings in more about the Bajoran Underground. So yeah, test Kira's loyalty, because that's like her. Babel's a good episode. So Babel, so the space station they're on was a space station that the Cardassians, not the Kardashians, not Kim Kardashian. These are an alien race called the Cardassians, who were basically like space Nazis, and they had like internment camps, and like they had a holocaust of Commander Kira's people, who were the Bajorans. The Bajorans were like a very spiritual, nomadic type race. Like they kind of kept to themselves. They were mostly like artists. Like they like focused on like feng shui and like meditation and stuff like that. They were very spiritual. And the Cardassians came to their planet as conquerors and easily took them over. Like easily took them over because like they didn't fight. So their space station was above Bajor during the occupation, where they were like just murdering Bajorans by like the tens of thousands. Like it's comical, and they had them like working like slave labor, and like the Federation eventually stepped in and was like, you can't be doing this. Like you are literally Space Hitler right now, and this is another Holocaust going on. So they make a truce after the Cardassian War, which the Federation eventually joins on the side of Bajor for, and they leave, and the space station, Deep Space Nine, was originally called Terok Nor, I think, was the Cardassian name for the space station, and it's the space station surrounded. It's above Bajor, the planet for the Bajorans, obviously, and they leave the space station in disarray, and they completely trash the entire place for when the Federation to show up. So the Federation shows up, and there's nothing. Like I think even in Episode 1. Captain Sisko, is he a captain? I think he's a captain by this time. But Sisko, who's now like in charge, he was put there by the Federation in charge of the space station. His son is with him, Jake Sisko, and Jake makes a comment about how when they get to their room, there's not even a bed. It's just trash everywhere because the Cardassians left it a complete mess. The other thing that they didn't do was they didn't turn off any of the security protocols. So what happens is that O'Brien or somebody is going through the system and trying to get the systems ready and operational, and it releases a virus, which messes up the universal translators that everyone in Star Trek has. So the reason that they're able to be like, well, everyone's going to speak English instead of like just speaking some random language is that everybody has an implant somewhere. They only go into it with the Ferengi. The Ferengi have it somewhere in their ear because they have huge ears. But what it does is that whatever they say and whatever they hear is automatically translated to like every language basically. So like the humans will hear it in English, and like the Bajoran will hear it in Bajoran. Like it's vice versa. So there's a virus that's released that ruins the translator, and the entire episode is them trying to. Oh no, wait, that's not even the episode. I completely mixed this up. This one is that they. Oh, I mean that's not a bad episode still, but I can't believe I went on a tangent and it's the wrong episode. The episode 4 Babel is that they get infected with a virus that makes them speak gibberish, and then they try to find an antidote for it before like everyone dies, because like it also like starts making like their brains shut down and stuff like that. Man, I could go on and on about all these episodes. This one, okay, that's a bad episode. Episode 10, season 1, Move Along Home, is really bad. That one I will skip. That's not a good episode. It's basically about an alien species that likes board games, and they use one of their board games to transport the three main people on the ship, Benjamin Sisko, Dax, and Jadzia Dax, and Bashir. I think they're the only three that get transported. They get transported into the board game, and Quark, who is the Ferengi bartender on Deep Space 9, who's one of my favorite characters, he has to play the game with them in it, and the whole time the other alien race make it seem like if they uh, lose or get hurt in the game, they'll die in real life. But like that's not even what it is. Like it's literally just a game, and it's like if you die or get hurt, you just get transported out of the game, and you're totally fine. Like so, yeah. The crew legit plays hopscotch. They play a hopscotch game, and it's like called Alamarain. It's like Alamarain, take three, something, 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 and I remember when asked on a panel, the guy who plays Benjamin Sisko, Avery Brooks, was asked what his least favorite thing in all of Deep Space Nine was, and it was this episode. And all he does is he says that line, Alamarain, take three home, Alamarain, come along home, like something like that. And he was like, and like everyone else on the panel like agreed, like they were like, yeah, that episode sucked. That's a really bad episode. Like even the stuff with Keiko's O'Brien's wife, and a lot of people don't like Keiko because like she just dunks on O'Brien all the time. Like O'Brien's already like a beaten man, and she just like further insults him. And it's like Keiko's great. Like she doesn't bother me as much as she bothers other people. Duet from season 1. Yes. That's a really good episode. This is like one of those episodes where like Kira understands like she understands that like maybe being a terrorist wasn't like not all Cardassians are bad. So this is the last thing I'll go over, and then I'll go back to playing the game. But this episode's really good because there's this war criminal who turns himself in, and he wants to be executed, but he kind of like makes it sneakily, like, and then he gets captured, and then he kind of like confesses right away, and then like he does all this information, and he like even goes through like cosmetic surgery to make himself look like the person who was like in charge of these death camps. And Kira is like immediately like, I hate this guy, he's a notorious war criminal, like we have to kill him. And it turns out that the war criminal's already dead, and he died during the war, but his assistant who worked on like literally the Google spreadsheets of the camp, because I guess that was important. um that guy feels so much guilt and remorse for even just taking part in the occupation that he wants to be killed. And so he's the guy. He's the guy who he gets the cosmetic surgery to look like the war criminal. He does all of this, like hides all of this evidence to make it look like he's the war criminal for real. And then they slowly like realize like it's not him, it's this other guy. But then he's like, I still want to be charged. And then like Kira slowly starts to realize that like he didn't want to do anything. He was just a soldier doing his job. And the episode ends with Kira being like, oh, like, you know what? Maybe there are good Cardassians out there, and like, you know what? Like it sucks what you did, but like I can forgive you, and like we can move on from here. And like things kind of get better, and then like some drunken Bajoran guy stabs the guy, and so he does die in the end. And then he's just like, yeah, here it is. Why he wasn't Darrell? Why? He's a Cardassian. That's reason enough. Like at the beginning of the episode, Kira would believe those lines. Like Kira was all about just a Cardassian is a Cardassian is a Cardassian. Like you just kill them all. And then by the end of this, she realizes that they're not all bad people. And like this is in the first season. I forgot this was in season 1, but that's a good first season episode. That episode, this one, and the episode where she befriends that one Cardassian guy who like basically becomes like a father figure to her. That's a good episode too. That's later in the season. But yeah, Duet's a really good. That's a good season 1 pool. I don't even know if I have anything that could top that in season 1. Let me see. I'm just gonna. No, that's probably the best one. Yeah, this is Also, in line with other Star Trek of that era, Q shows up, but Cisco punches him in the face, and then Q doesn't show up at all because like he makes his point. But yeah, that's my little stroll down Star Trek road, or whatever you want to call it. Let's turn this back up. And then, as far as other Star Trek goes, I slept on Voyager for way too long because the joke is obviously that, um, oh God, what's her name? I can't even think of the captain's name on Voyager. The one who likes coffee. Is her first name Kathleen? Hold on, I'm stuck on this. Oh, God, what's her name? That's gonna bother me, that I don't know her name. But anyway, the joke is always, like, she's the worst captain because she kills Tuvix. And, like, it's like it completely goes... And she's constantly breaking the Prime Directive, which she does, like, and she acknowledges that, like, she's breaking the Prime Directive. But, like, at the same time, she has to make these tough calls because... they're so far away. They're in the Delta Quadrant. They're, like she needs to make these calls. And, so I slept on the series because I was like, oh, this show can't be good. Like, I hear so much, like, crap about it. And, yeah, I eventually watched it, and there definitely are a lot of stinker episodes in that more than any of the other series, but it's really good still. There's a lot of good episodes. The first season can be kind of hard to watch, just because, like, it feels like they're setting up for certain things, and then there's just no payoff, which is so lame. But it's good. It's really good. And then what else would there have been? Enterprise. Enterprise is another one I slept on, and Enterprise was the closest to being, like, TOS, but, like, its own thing. And I really liked Enterprise until they get to the Xindi arc. The Xindi arc is garbage. Like, it gets bearable for a little bit, but it's really bad. It's really bad. It doesn't help that they also released the Xindi arc shortly after the September 11th attacks. So basically what happens in... so 9/11 happens in the real world. 9/11 happens. And in response, the people behind Star Trek Enterprise release an episode where, like, these alien terrorists attack Florida and just, like, kill so many people. And they make it look like, oh, like, this is analogous. I think I'm using that word wrong, but it's similar to what really happened just now with 9/11. And it's like an entire season, and it's so bad because they were setting up for so many other things. They were setting up for there was like a time war that was happening that they eventually get to, but by the time they do, it's like I feel like it was too late. It's lame. It has some of my favorite characters though. It does an episode also dealing with what's it called? The Mirror Universe, and I hate the Mirror Universe. In anything, I hate the Mirror Universe. They're awful episodes. They're just not fun. And but it sets off all that information. There's a lot of lore on, like, how things are, like, how things became what they are today with the Federation, and they're fighting the Klingons at the time, which is pretty cool to watch. And I think they go... I can't remember... I can't remember if they went with the newer look of Klingons or if they went with the TOS look. Because that's a thing that they do talk about, is that obviously in TOS they didn't have... Like, the Klingons were just, like... They're just people with, like, face paint on them. And then when you get to TNG, they become... like their own species. Like they don't look like humans anymore. They have the big forehead and everything like that. And what happens is that they explain why they look like that in several different of the shows. That's explained. And I think in Enterprise they explain further, like, why. Like, it was, like, something to do with, like, the war. They were, like, well, they were trying to make super soldiers. And then in, like, the J.J. Abrams movies, they, like, tried to also explain, like, oh, like, this is why it was like this. And that's why there's, like, these weird-looking Klingons again. And it's like, this is, like, lame. Like, just give us what the Klingons look like. And I think they eventually, like, understood. And, like, they've just stuck with the TNG version, which is obviously the best, most iconic version. Man, you running at me with a knife, and I've got, like, literally a bazooka that shoots light. I'm just gonna, like, try to run through this place, because these penal colony buildings are really big. And if I get stuck on, like, trying to farm all the gear, it's not gonna be worth it. Oh, I did not think I was gonna make that. Stop shooting at me, Mr. NPC. I'm getting so sidetracked. I'm supposed to be looking for gold. What am I doing? What am I doing? I think this is the other end. Yeah. He's like, what was that noise? Back on track. I need... Oh, I'm at 200 gold. Alright, and then we're gonna actually, before I do that, I'm gonna switch these wooden platforms out for the platforms I just farmed. Wrecked platforms? Is that what I'm using? I don't think that's what I'm using. Outpost platforms. No. Probably like that. Alright, I need to go back to my home base. Let's throw some of these things in here. Actually, no, I gotta make copper, gold, titanium, tungsten, and silver. Okay. I have enough for that. We're gonna dump the rest of the stuff. So I need silver, gold, and titanium. The rest of the stuff can go in here. And this one is my rare compartment. Alright. Yeah, having this set up as like an MMO with like worlds that are PvP and like your bases could become attacked would be really cool. I'd be surprised if there already isn't a mod that does that. Oh yeah, I wanted to change up my costume. So if I do this skull, what would be a good jacket? That's not too bad. This gives me like a little scarf. That's pretty cool. Where's the stuff I can make for my back? Is it in here? What are you barking at? I think it's down there. Cave detector. Durasteel, copper, silicon, AA batteries. Durasteel, AA batteries, silicon, copper wire. I wonder if this will give me the glow effect if I equip it. Because that would be awesome. Because right now I've just had like a knife on my back. And I've had to switch over to... I already have this? I already learned that. I already knew this. Alright, I'm gonna take a bunch of these with me, because these I can leave here. Okay, the goggles I can take. Let me sort. Whatever I have doubles of. That's not going to sell for anything. That's not going to sell for anything. That's 0. 0. I mean, for 25, I might as well sell it. Or just trash it. Take these. I like these for the costumes. I take this. Is that the full copper set? No, Buccaneers. I don't know why I keep the picks. They don't even sell for too much. Alright, we're gonna go to the outpost. Yeah, I have... Normally, if I didn't have a mod, I would also, like, have to fly around a ton to get to some of these bases I'm teleporting to. So, like, the base game, it is a lot more difficult in that vein. This guy wants me to get the ancient key stuff. Yeah. That's a fun little thing. That, I think, is also part of the Arcana. Maybe I'll do one of those. It looks like this is giving me light. Nope, I'm not getting light. I have to actually have it equipped. Which I can't because I need this top one. I don't know if this ever becomes anything. It's just like a closed off area. Alright, we're gonna sell stuff to you. You can have these, this, all that stuff, Okay, I added a mod that lets me sell certain blocks, which I think I'm gonna cheese to, cause like this is just like garbage for the most part. But if I can sell these to make some extra dosh, like I just made, well, I made 7,000 the other way, but I made 3K with that, and that's not too bad. And then this stuff I'm gonna sell too. I'm just selling stuff. Because since I scan these, there's an item in my base that lets me, for money, the cash in this game is called pixels. For pixels I can buy those things. So what I need to do is I need to put these somewhere. Because those are things I always have on my person. And then I'll just go back to my base. But who did I need to bring this to? Not the vault key. This one. Track quest. I have the components. And then this is something else. I've got a mod so that this guy sells drops for monsters. Which normally he doesn't. Normally he just sells you the ship license. Now he sells like things that like make it actually seem like a black market. So wait, I think I can buy, I need phase matter, I need 10. Does he sell that? Thank you. So these keys in the mod that I'm using, they let me go to these like instanced areas. Who was that red? What was that? That was showing up as an enemy? Oh no, that's weird. Dogs every day. Alright, buddy. I'll catch you later. Where did I want to go? I think to my home base. So we're just going to take everything. Except for these. These are expensive. And they're like huge holding containers that I can use in the future. But all of these things, except for the trees. Let me keep the trees here too. Because that'll be useful for when I want to start planning up a forest. This take all. That's an easy take all. And then these... This looks like this is ready for harvesting. So I can even go there. Alright. Are you going to attack me? Carrot seed. Pinyap. Sugarcane. Wheat. Put there. And none of those are seeds. So food in this game has an expiration on it, and I have it set up so that like food can also stack, but since like these are off by like a few seconds, they have to stack as different items, which is kind of lame. Like it's leading to like a lot of overcrowding, which was like the reason that I got the mod in the first place, was so that I didn't have that. But I'm just gonna take all of this stuff and just go vend it. I might as well get a few pixels out of this. Oh, you know what? I can just turn and sell to her. That makes it... Oh, no, she don't sell... Oh, but I can sell to this guy. Not that it's like a pain to walk to the other lady, but... these don't expire, and rice doesn't expire, so those are the only two I'll keep. So, don't get a lot from food. Alright, let's see how much I get from all of this. This is just like, normally these sell for 0, but the mod made it so that like they sell for like 1 to like 5 pixels each. So that's a pretty good haul. 6,000 for like nothing, for just stuff that's collecting or just taking up space. That's pretty good. I should get the other mod that like makes my basic inventory larger, because it is annoying jumping back and forth from my base. And I don't feel like it's too much. Like, I'm going to be able... Like, this is going to be 3 more trips, probably. God, I love this game. I love how much you can mod this game. You could just make this into a totally different game. I just want to see what 1,000 ice sells for by itself. 200. So then, if they were 1 each, that would be 1,000. So yeah, they don't sell for 1 for 1. Like 1 ice is nothing. So if it's 1,000, it sells for 200. That means every 4 is 1. Yeah, every 4 is 1. That's not a bad exchange rate. I'm definitely at the point now with my matter manipulator that like I just go right through ice like it's nothing. So to get 200 for a full stack of 1,000 ice blocks, it's not the best way to make money, but like if I had to, I could just like completely decimate a planet. The moons might be the better place to do that, because I don't know how much moon dust goes for. It's probably the same as regular dirt. It's probably 1 pixel for every 4. Does the liquid sell for anything? The liquid does not sell for anything. So I can hold on to those. Because... Did I need obsidian for anything? gonna hold on to that because the obsidian is like harder to come by. Is this all for 1,000? Hold on. No, it sells for 200. So it's the same. It's for 4. It's probably worth it just to keep it then. I feel like I needed obsidian for something. I can't remember. It was like a piece of technology I was making, or something with like the magic mod, the arcana mod. So I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna take a big swig of my drink real quick. I hope me gulping doesn't get picked up by the mic. But if it does, it's not a big deal. Slime is a liquid, so that doesn't sell, but I don't need slime. It doesn't do anything for me. Now, poison's important, but there's like planets that are made out of poison. I wonder what packed dirt is it? It might be 4. So I need to see the recipe for packed dirt because it might be cheaper to sell dirt by itself because I think it takes more. I need to test that. Silk is ready for harvest. He's ready for harvest. I don't have any just dirt. Oh yeah, treasure hoard better sell for a lot. This is gonna take one more trip. That's so annoying. I'm gonna leave the water and the books here. And the timber, because timber is actually useful. Alright. I was not about to turn that into one more trip. This teleporting back and forth cannot be good for my atoms. Really? Sell for 2 each. I mean, I'm never gonna use that. That's kind of lame. I thought it would sell for more. I mean, it is literally like a treasure hoard. But I guess gold in this game isn't like crazy expensive. Yeah, like a gold bar is 400. I do need solarium. I don't know where to mine it though. I'd rather go mine it. Ouchies. Beam to ship. Alright. I think I'm gonna go do this. But I gotta figure out where this guy is. I think I found him on... I think he was here? Or any other transponder vendor. Was he here? He might have been here. I did go to this food distribution station to scan stuff. Are there any plants I haven't discovered yet? Unexplored. Well, unexplored. I'm going to go back here. So it's explored. grasslands. This looks like a water planet. Moon. Moon. Unexplored. Savannah. Ooh. This was one of the mods I added. Midnight. I have not gone to a midnight planet. Gas giant. Moons. Space merchant. Let's go see what you got to sell. Usually it's nothing crazy. Oh, he's one of the bird people. Or she. Random fountain? The most unpredictable of fountains. How much did vault keys go for? 0, so it's not even worth farming for that. I mean, once I scan these, I should be able to buy these too, so I don't need to even buy from you. There's 2 chests. They're hitting the gong. Yeah, the bird people are like Aztec warriors. It's very like Stargate. And then there's like robot people, but they're either like medieval themed or cowboy western themed, which is hilarious. And then there's plant people who are like cannibalistic savages that somehow have space travel, but they're my favorite. That's usually the race I make besides humans. There's like a water people race that I don't know what they're based off of, but like their theme is very like Chinese, Japanese oriented. But like they're not like based off of like an animal species. But their whole culture is like very like Zen-like. And they have like pagodas and really cool aesthetic stuff. And then they'll like have like Gundam statues, which is funny. They're like big weebs on top of all of it. These things used to drop like spare parts that you needed to build your ship, and now they just drop batteries. I don't know if that was like a mod I had and got rid of, but it made upgrading your ship, upgrading your mech a lot more fun. Now it's like you have to like hope that you randomly get from a chest one of the parts, which is really annoying. Maybe that's a mod I look into. Ow, I could have easily avoided that and I chose not to. What is this? Oh. I don't know why you would ever need that. You're in space. Ooh, is that something I can scan? Hold on. It looks like I might be able to. Yeah. Like, I need to hope that, like, these chests have the parts that I need, which is just, it's not gonna happen. And then I think this is, like, one of those chests that I can break. don't know if I can scan it, though. Oh, I can. Yeah, that has parts of it, too. I guess that's it in the anomaly. That's kind of lame. There's like 5 specific parts I need. Like 5 of the same part, and I can't find a single one. And everywhere online it's just like, you just have to be lucky. And it's like, that sucks. I'm gonna go in here. This looks like an Arctic world. I haven't gone to a volcanic world. Searching for midnight planets. Confirm. I don't think I found one. I guess I have. I don't remember going here, though. That's a cool mod, though. Alright. Stream cold. Alright. Let's go here. See if I can turn this quest in. It's gonna give me the ability to make a space station. I don't know if that's a mod or if that's like a real thing. That's like part of the base game. Some of this stuff I don't know what's real anymore. Like being able to pick up chests that still have loot in them and the loot doesn't fall out is a mod, but I've had it for so long that I just feel like that's part of the game. I don't think he's here. Otherwise, this would be tracking to him. Anybody. Would he have been down here? He's not. I don't know where I got this quest from, though. Alright, I'm gonna do... Can I search for anomalies? Biomes, ore. Oh, okay, hold on. Looking for ore would be good. Solarium. Bale's waste. Let's go. Yeah, so the only time that your ship actually uses fuel is when you're jumping between stars. And it's only 100 fuel, which you can easily get the various moons. I don't think I ever came here, so I don't know how it knew that this was out here. That's pretty cool. And this is one of just their moons. No breathable atmosphere. I doubt my mech's gonna be able to handle the heat. Probably immediately gonna start taking damage. Yeah, immediately taking damage. But I'm good because of my backpack. I think I did come here once, actually, and I was trying to look for this again. Okay, I'm standing on a detonator. As soon as I move, it's gonna blow up. Oh, it didn't. I could have sworn these were detonators. Yeah, that one is. An accordion. Let's play, Jingle Bells. Hilarious. Energy Javelin. I've never seen those before. Ow. Dog, why'd you shoot me? Alright, we need Solarium, which is going to be definitely underground, but I always check the surface for matter manipulators. Ooh, that actually matches my outfit pretty good, but I like the skull too much. Yeah, I have been here, haven't I? This looks so familiar. Whoa. Alright, I gotta heal. Nothing. Are you bad? No. How do I feel about pancakes? They're pretty good. Like the one nice person on this planet. How? There we go, there's some solarium. see anything? Put your shrine back. Ooh, I've never seen this before. Some kind of marker. Looks pretty cool. Just like random stones I can scan too, that I've never seen. There's like these weird shadow people here. I think they're in the base game, I can't remember. Whoa! Dog, you just gonna one-shot me? Fair enough. Nice play. Alright. So we went left last time, we're gonna go right this time. That's where I went wrong. I didn't go the right way. Get some money out of the dumpster. Bandages from the dumpster. More solarium. Ooh. Greatly increases. I've got the damage too. I do more damage. I'm damaged. I'm all messed up, you know. I see that chest down there. How am I gonna... Broken stylish chair and table. Broken register. What is this? It's not even oh, junk pile. I was like, it's not showing up in my, what I'm getting. I don't think I can do anything with this junk. I mean, I could sell it now that I have that mod, but... I wonder if there's mods to, like, make useless blocks into, like, stuff you can craft. Like, if I can make this into, like, a wall or, like, floor paneling or something like that, that'd be pretty cool. Large, stylish drawers. I already know it. Let's take that and be on our way. Are you both people nice? I'm jealous of you being an adventurer. Yeah, I mean, you can leave too. I mean, I guess you don't have a ship. This is my poker face. What gun were you holding out on? 28 damage? My thing does it's so much damage. I don't even know how I got this gun. I went through a dungeon and had it. That's not too bad. Dunk. Yeah, every two-handed weapon has a primary and then a secondary function. Primary is with the left mouse, secondary is with the right mouse. Ooh, 2 matter manipulators. How many do I need? 16, I think. I've got 18. Hell yeah, boys. We're doing it. 2 more. And I'm gonna need 32 and 32, I bet. So that's gonna be 64. Oh, that's so much work, but then I'll have maxed out power, which is nice. I thought that this was... Yeah, look, it's an explosion. What was glowing there? I saw a green glow. This, like, two-handed weapon is so broken. But hey, man, I went through that dungeon. That dungeon was rough. Some kind of bunker. Pixels. Bombs. A diamond. Ooh. Sticky bombs. Interesting. I probably have, like, a good amount of solarium now. As I think it's 2 for a bar. So I could probably make a little bit. Probably not enough that I need for my armor, though. God damn. Are you guys good? You are not good. So I need to be careful because my health isn't so great. These things still deal a lot of damage because I don't have... Ooh, why'd the music change? Demon horn wig? That's pretty cool. And then trash. I like that demon horn wig, though. You're evil? What? No, you're not. Why would it home onto someone who... Whoa! Oh, yeah, there's bombs here. Like that. Wow. Ooh. Was I here before? This looks like I dug it out. I need to start finding solarium. Is that it? That looks like it. Ooh. You like the OST? It's pretty good. It's weird that the music just like suddenly changed, 'cause I feel like it was been stuck on the one song this whole time, and then everything just changed, which is fine. It's very nice, and it does set a mood for like being in space, just kind of like chilling. I wonder when the last update for this game was, because this game could use updates. Let's see. Steam. Starbound. Community Hub? Does that show? Reviews, discussions, store page. Release date 2016, July 22nd. I can't believe it's been that long. It's been 8 years. Jeez. View update history. So 2016 this game was released, and the most recent update was 2019. The Bounty Hunter update. And it was a major update too. Oh man. The comments section, there's 50 pages of comments from 2019. And I'm sure that I'm gonna see, yeah, I'm gonna see stuff from today. Shame development ended here. Lots of cries for updating this game, please. It's not as bad. I've seen other games where it's like every post is like cursing out the developers and stuff like that. I mean, this game's $15. It's still $15. It frequently goes on sales. It was just on sale for the Steam Summer Sale. I think it was down to like $5. It was like 60 some percent off. I feel like the game as it is now is 100% worth $15. You can get $15 worth of enjoyment out of this game. I don't need more updates. I would love more updates, but it's not really needed. I wish that they, like, it sucks that that was like the last thing they did. Like the discussion board is completely closed. Oh no, wait, hold on. General discussion. Coordinated mega thread. I'm just interested in like why production stopped on it. The end of Starbound 2019. You're not kidding. That sucks. This is such a good game. Why did Chucklefish stop development on Starbound? They have been forced to temporarily halt development on Starbound in order to assist police investigate an individual who's been using the game in its forms as a means of targeting young children. What the fuck? That can't be real. That was in 2014. No. This was like before the game launched. Yeah, that so they temporarily stopped development before the game launched. I want to know like why it's been updated, like stop being updated. Not paying musicians and they got sued for such. Did not pay for a large amount of the work done on the game. Here's an article. Alright, let me see this. So 2019, so yeah, this would line up. They made Risk of Rain, I didn't know that. Oh, they made Time Spinner. Time Spinner I've had in my Steam inventory for the longest time. I've not played it once. I was really interested in it. I love Metroidvania games. Like, Wargroove's really good from what I've heard and seen. It's basically just Advanced Wars, which is awesome. I just don't understand. Like, Chucklefish still does other things. Why did they just abandon this? There's a post from Reddit. I refuse to use Reddit. That's just me. PlayStarbound.com/blog. Starbound coming to Xbox is the last update from 2020. What are the comments like? Are there no comments? I just want to know, man. I really want to know. Like, is there a reason why? Like, they still update Stardew Valley. They still do stuff there. They still have fans of this game. They still advertise. Look at this. It was summer. It went down to $3.75. This game is so good. %40 off on GOG. Like, these are all older. Like, they stopped doing stuff in 2022 on their Twitter, it looks like. Facebook, they got anything? Oh, that's gonna reveal my, like, actual Facebook stuff. Hold on, I'll just go to YouTube. No, it's just their Chucklefish. Like, they make great games. Wild Frost is on my wish list. Eastward looks good, but it's more of like a visual novel from what I can tell, and I'm okay with skipping out on that. I could be reading it wrong. Starmancer. The Wilderness update. I don't know what Starmancer is. Oh, you know what? This does look kind of familiar. I might have had that on my wish list too. I have Pathway. I've not played it. Actually, I might have played one game. 5 years ago was the last update. Yeah, there's Time Spinner. Time Spinner I bought 5 years ago. Just want to see. Sort by newest. We want Starbound to come back. Yeah, add more updates. They actually came back and liked this from 2 months ago. I hope that they're, like, secretly working on something in the background, and then they just come out with it, and they're just like, here you guys go. That would be the greatest victory of all time. The biggest battle royale, whatever lingo people use. Like, that would be so pog champ of them. Because there's a game that I played a while ago, and I've played it since, and it was a one-developer team, and then the guy just, like, disappeared. And people were like, oh, like, he abandoned it, it's another abandoned game. They wanted to make more games. That's probably what it was, is they probably saw there's more money in making more games than there is. This is actually going to be difficult, this one. I can't cheese this one too much. And this anti-gravity is going to mess up my jump heights. Oh, wait, hold on. Get down. Ooh. They probably saw that, like, if they just make more games, they'll make money faster than if they try updating one game. Which I understand. That makes sense. Get down. Okay, I'm short enough. Okay, maybe I can. Maybe this just looks more intimidating. Ow. That was a big mistake. And I mean, I don't blame them on that. Like, going off to, like, Stardew Valley probably made them so much money. What's here? Poison portal? Ooh, interesting. Ooh, that's cool. Can I do this through walls? Probably not. No. I can control them now. I like that. It probably doesn't do a ton of damage though. It's probably not gonna be worth it. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. I mean, it's not surprising, though, because I feel like development forms for games that, like, are... I feel like development forms are probably really good places for predators to go to, because it's like, they can easily find out, like, who the children are on there. But that is still crazy. Like, that they had to, like, stop working on the game so they could help the police catch these predators. Like, that's pretty hilarious. Like, we're gonna stop. Like, so before the game even came out, it was 2 years before the game came out, there were people preying on children. That's wild. And in one of my favorite games, no less, that was happening. That's like really weird. I would not suspect this game. There's other games on my list that I would suspect before this one. Ow, don't shoot. I feel like if I went back to play vanilla of this, it would just be like... It would still be fun, but it would just be, like, more of a pain. Like, this gun that I'm using right now, like, there's no way this is a vanilla weapon. It's insane. Ouch. I don't need any more tech chips. Oh, I got an action figure? Those are really rare drops. Oh, cute. It's one of the Whispers. Yeah, those are like... I forget the drop rate on those. Actually... I think I have a mod installed that increases the drop rate. I think the drop rate normally is like 1 in 10,000, which is wild. I think I have a mod installed so it's like 1 in 1,000, which is still less than 1%. Yeah, I would expect Minecraft and Roblox for like predator speed. Like if you were to say like which game in your Steam library do you think had child predators on the forums before the game launched, I would have been like, I probably would have said Unturned would have been the first guess. And it probably did. and it probably still does. Like, nothing that the game developers can like control. There's just weirdos out there. Now this whole thing with like, again, like I know I said it earlier, but like I didn't really know e-celebrities very well. But like this Mr. Beast stuff I've been kind of following because like just because it's everywhere, and the dude like hired somebody who was like grooming younger kids and like having like really not safe for work stuff, like pictures and conversations in their Discord, and like all the Discords leaked, and it's just like not looking good at all for this person. And it's like, fuck, like what do you even do? Like this guy's like this dude has like one of the largest channels on YouTube, and someone he's associated with is doing really bad stuff, and apparently he like people are saying that like he knew about it too and just let it slide, which you'd have to prove that still. But if he did, oh boy, that would, even someone that large, that would probably destroy their career. Every time I keep seeing these fossils, and I'm just like, I should have just made it one of those fossil paintbrush things. Just because I've never done it before, and I'm always interested in seeing how it works. Every time. Have I scanned any of these? I have not. These seem new to me. Heh. Ah, no, 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 no. There we go. Get me out of there. Ow. Oh my god. Yeah, that would like, if there was somebody that I followed and like I was like, wow, I really like this person's, like who's someone like, I'm trying to think of somebody that I follow that I'm like, I really like this guy a lot. At one point I probably would have said Simple Flips. I really do like that guy's stuff, and I hate speedrunning. I think speedrunning's dumb, but I really like that guy's personality a lot, and I just like, I feel like recently I just haven't been watching his stuff because he's like, I don't know. Maybe I just like overloaded on all of this stuff because I don't have a problem with him. He did have like a controversy that came out, and I was just like, whatever, dude. Like, just are you gonna make more videos? And he did, but he had like my guy was like being abused. Like he was in an abusive relationship, and I was like, man, I can relate to that. You gotta get some help, and I think he did, and he like bettered himself and did all some good stuff. But like, yeah, but if somebody online that I followed for like years came out as like being like anything, like even like if they were like, if they did tax fraud or something, it would like make me feel like, oh man, like why did I look up to this person? Which is probably why I don't like have idols. Like I don't really look up to anybody outside of like my family, like my parents. I've never really had like Like my joke response back when I was a kid was Chuck Norris. I remember that. I remember that in like a social studies class, the teacher was like, "Who do you idolize?" Like, write that down. And I put down my parents, but I was like, I almost wrote down Chuck Norris. But like, I wasn't the class clown. I was very quiet, and I think I was the only person that put down my parents. That you should not be looking up to me. I've made plenty of mistakes in my life. I think the best course of action for like looking up to people is like you need to like do it to a certain degree. Like you need to do it to like you don't want to idolize somebody because like you make them like into like a demigod, and that is not a good way of doing it. But like if you could take like some life lesson from somebody and just be like, yeah, that's what I do. Like I'm gonna better myself in this way. Then that's like the best thing you can do. But like making it so it's like, oh, I always have to watch this guy's videos or I always have to do this or that. Like that's fine, and I'm sure they appreciate that, but like you also need to like learn to be your own person. And if that means like taking them as an example in some way, that's cool, but like you also need to like find your own path in life too. Cuz if you're not your own person and you're just like repeating what someone else is like, kind of cringe. No. It like you won't you'll have like some kind of midlife crisis if you do that, and like because you won't be yourself. You'll just be like this amalgamation of like people you've idolized. Too late. I mean, I appreciate that, but the best advice I could give you is like, I'm gonna take a book out of early AVGN when he was reading those emails, and that guy who couldn't speak English emailed it, and the email was live like a wind rammer as you fuck. That's the best advice I could give you. Like you gotta live like a wind rammer. You gotta just be your own guy. You gotta be the guy, just like that old video game. That's really hard. I want to be the guy. That's gotta be you. Give some like old man advice. You gotta give respect to get respect, type deal. None of that none of that soy boy stuff, and none of that also like whatchamacallit, what is it? What's the Proud Boys? None of that stuff. Like you don't need to do that stuff. Just be like a good person. Just be a good human being. Do unto others as they do to you, as you would want them to do unto you. Ow, I clicked the wrong weapon. Yeah, exactly. Like maybe idolize isn't the right word, but like looking up to or like appreciating what multiple people have done is a really good way of doing things. I guess idolize is the best I can think of right now. I'm trying to think what else it could be. I mean, that's a pretty good word. But idolize comes off too much as like you're treating someone like an idol. Like that, and that's no bueno. You don't want to be like worshiping somebody. Even though it might not come off like that. It could easily devolve into that. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, is my inventory full? It is. Alright, what doesn't sell for anything? I think these javelins, which I've never seen before. What do these do? Whoa. Whoa. That's pretty cool. I can't, like, throw a bunch at once, though. There's, like, a weird cooldown on that. Give me. Like, I try to be very careful with the things I say, online and offline, because I try not to come off as like clingy, I guess. Like if I like really like someone's stuff, I like try to like kind of stay back. I like lurking a lot, I guess, but like not in a weird stalkerish way. Like I don't even know who some of my like favorite famous people are. Like what word do I even use? Content creator. I guess that counts. I don't even know who some of my favorite ones would be because like even I don't know. I'm like all over the place. I'm too busy living like a windrammer. I enjoy Ash's stuff a lot because I find their personality to be really entertaining, and it's also just good background noise. Like I hate to put them in that category, but like it is really good. Like I could just pop this on, zone out, and play something. That's how I started playing Starbound again. Was I would put Ash on and then just be like, all right, I'm gonna play Starbound, and it's worked out so far. See, I don't want to throw out these musical instruments for some reason in this game go for so much money. But I want this one thing. I can throw the rope. Yeah, look, that's 10,000. 10,000. That's crazy. It doesn't sell for that much, though. I think everything sells for a quarter of what it's actually worth. What's the cheapest other thing I could throw out? I don't think this is going to be worth much, though. 375. Yeah, like the next cheapest... I guess the flares. I don't really use flares. It probably is time for me to just teleport back. Yeah. No, see, I'm worried about that for my sake. Because, like... Ash's community like is great and everyone's really nice on there and everything, but like that is not that is definitely not my kind of community to be in. Like I'm very much like the punk rock community. Like I'm out here cursing. I'm blaspheming. I'm putting the Lord's name in vain. I'm saying I'm calling people retard and faggot and stuff like that in my own life. Like that's just how I am, because like that's just how I grew up, and I don't mean it in like any kind of derogatory, like I don't mean it as hateful towards like gay people. Like I'm not saying faggot towards those people. Like I'm calling it towards people who like are just like I can't stand them, and an asshole doesn't work because it's not strong enough. Like, that's just what it's there for. But yeah, like, so, like, I have to be very careful because, like, anywhere else I would be just dropping, like, mad slanderous words. And getting myself in muy trouble. Even the one time, and it's weird that I still hold on to this because I think that they moved on from it. Pretty quickly they moved on from it. But, like, even the one time when I was talking about haircuts, and it's, like, that weird Gen Z haircut where it's, like, kind of half-shaved. Like, you shave around the head, and then you just leave this, like, the full mop of hair on top. It looks so bad. Like, I don't know. Like, that's just how, like, I hate that hairstyle. And it's not for, like, any reason other than I think that it looks bad, and like that's just my opinion on it. But like I mentioned that in Ash's chat, and apparently that was their hairstyle, and I felt so bad. I felt like I just hurt their feelings, and they even said that like they didn't even realize they were gonna get that upset about it. And like I still think about that. Like I didn't talk in chat for the rest of the day, and then I think I skipped her, not her, there. I'm trying to get better at saying stuff like that. I skipped their next 2 streams because, like, I felt so bad about that. Like, I did not mean to hurt anyone's feelings or to, like, they went completely silent at one point, and I was like, oh, I fucked up really bad. And, yeah. And I know, like, Ash and Shuya were both like, it's cool, like, we've moved on, like, let's keep going. But like, I don't know, stuff like that sticks with me because I've got like really bad. My brain is bad, and I mean, I usually don't say things that get me in trouble. Like I've never like insulted a friend. Like I've never gone like full Asperger's and said something like that I regret. I'm usually really, really good at planning out what I'm saying. I'm not when I stream though, because I have to like I feel like, oh, I should be talking right now. And then it's like, well, what do I say? And then I'm like, well, I'm still not talking. I need to just say anything. But like if I started saying like if I started speaking from the top of my head, I would sound like I'm like in like an insane asylum. Because my brain is like scattered. I think I did that once. Who was I doing that with? I think I was doing that with my ex. I was like, I'm just gonna, for like the next 10 minutes, just say the first things that come to my head. And like, I just was like, no filter, just talking. And it's not that I was like saying stuff like that was bad, but it was just like, it sounded like I was casting a spell. Or like on heroin or something. Like I was just, it was just gibberish. And it was like kind of hilarious and at the same time kind of like embarrassing, where I was like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, that's how my brain works. All right, I'm gonna get this next big node. This is a good one right here. I don't even know what else I would want in this game. Other than, like, the multiplayer feature, which, like, it does exist. You can have multiplayer servers. I don't know how they work, though. Wow, this is a big house, though, down here. Oh, no. No, I'm definitely... I mean, I'm wholesome, like, in that, like, I'm kind of, like, happy-go-lucky, and just, like, I go with the flow, and I'm, like, I'm kind to everybody. I do not like that, but it sells for 5,000. What can I drop? 3,000. Do I sell? I'm never using these bandages. Plus 50 health, plus 50 health 10 seconds, plus 50 health 1 second. I should be using these bandages more. Let me put these here. But yeah, I'm not saying the N-word. Like, I wouldn't go that far. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I think my folks are home. Hold on, let me just shut my door. No, 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 you're good, Jonathan. I'm in the same boat. I don't censor the way that I am. I'm a huge, huge proponent for free speech. Um, but yeah, like I wouldn't go out of my way to like use derogatory words or like I wouldn't want to hurt someone's feelings. Like that's just shitty. Um, but at the same time, like I'm not gonna not talk like how I talk in real time. Like I'm gonna call people retarded when they're retarded. That's just how I am, and I'm not using it to disparage people who are differently abled, um, because that's not what I'm about. It's like even a shame that I have to say that. Like I don't have a bad bone in my body. I would never want to see anyone hurt, and I wouldn't want to hurt anybody. But if someone was like, "Hey, like this offends me," or whatever, I'd be like, "Yeah, like I'll respect you if you're worth respecting." That's the one thing. If you're like some, if for lack of a better word, some dumb cunt, like I'm not gonna respect you. Like if you already don't respect me, that's just how it is. Gotta give respect to get respect. Alright, I know I said that load was the load. Node was the last one I was gonna go for, and then I kept going, because I keep finding chests. Alright. Last one. Eh. Worth it. Alright, we out. How long have I been streaming? Almost 3 hours. If I didn't have to talk, I could easily stream probably for 10 hours. That's really bad, I feel like. I do not like that dinosaur hat, so I'm gonna not keep that. I'll sell the rest. Oh, what's up, Phantom? Yeah, no, I'm yeah, your real name's there. I was like, who's this person with their full name here? But like when I started watching this one streamer, like my full name was there too, so it was weird when she was like, "Oh, hi, Michael." I'd be like, "Oh, I don't know if I like that so much." Hazmat shirt. Ooh. Oh my. How's it going, Phantom? How are things on your end? Oh, I got plenty of ore. That's insane. Nah, you're good, man. There's literally nothing I could think of. Like, the only thing, like, if I ever got big as, like, a VTuber or a streamer, which, like, I don't think I ever would because this is just, like, something for me to do when I'm bored. Like, my only rule would be, like, no CP. Like, that would be it. Like, I don't care. Like, you guys can say whatever you want. You guys can, like, deny the Holocaust. You guys can throw around racial slurs. Like, it wouldn't bother me. Like, I'd just be like, oh, that's just how they are. Like, I know other people would be, like, greatly offended by that, but it's just kind of like, I don't really care. Like, as long as you guys aren't doing anything illegal. And there we go. Got my new suit of armor. Mucho better. Except I still don't have a lot of health. What was that, 160? Bit of an aimless, lazy day. I hate days like that, but I get what you mean. Today's been pretty good, actually. I was gonna go for a drive, and then instead I ended up going to just the grocery store down the street and making dinner. And the only thing I would probably change about the dinner I made was I wouldn't put in as much cayenne. It wasn't too bad. Like, I didn't mind it. Color that pacifies your pet. Oh, interesting. I didn't mind it, but the other people in my household who ate it were like, oh, it's just a little too spicy. And it's like, dang, like, I thought I got it right. I, like, went back one more time and was like, just a little bit more. And it's like, if I didn't do that, it probably would have been perfect. I also, so it was like a Mexican one-pot dish that I did. And I put the beans and corn in with the chicken to cook, when what I should have done was cook the chicken and then put that stuff in. Like, I would have cooked the chicken, I would have taken the chicken out, and then in the broth that it left behind, because I cooked and baked the chicken and I, what is it, like steaming or something, in like a little bit of chicken broth and fajita mix. And I should have taken the chicken out and then dumped in the black beans, corn, peppers, jalapenos, and rice. And the rice would have absorbed all of the juices, and it would have been perfect. Like, I think that would have been great. And it also, like, some of it stuck to the bottom and, like, burnt, so, like, there's, like, some burnt kernels of rice in there, which sucks. But other than that, like, it wasn't too bad from, like, not even using a recipe. I just kind of, like, winged it, and it wasn't so bad. You ordered pizza for your nieces? That's nice. What kind of pizza did you get? I'm gonna put this maybe up here. These little action figures. That's cute. I'm gonna sell all that stuff. How much money do I have? I think I need 15 to get the next upgrade for my ship. So I'm still 9k away. I'm sorry, 90k away, not 9k. I'm not that close. Let's see, I think I only had these seeds. And then these. Leave me alone. Come on, man. Cornlings. Shoot. I don't think there's any more. No, these are seeds. Yeah, I don't know, I need to talk to her about it, but the one person on the server, I guess I'll still call her Cosmic, but, like, there's another Cosmic on the server now, so, but I haven't seen her post in a little bit. I was thinking about that, but she messaged me because she said my stream was lagging. So I hope it's still not. But it looks like it was doing fine. Alright, if I use the vault key... Did I... Okay, I was about to freak out and be like, did I accidentally sell that? Okay, I'll go sell all that stuff. I can put this stuff away. Because I don't know where the guy is that needs these bars and stuff. Seems okay to you? Yeah, I just think that there's the latency, but there's always going to be latency. And it doesn't seem like it's too bad. And I would have people tell me that, like, my mic was too low, and then other people telling me it was too high. So it's like, I don't know who to believe. I'm probably going to get a better mic eventually, just because whatever. It is what it is. Now, how does this work? There's 3 of these? Do they all have the exact same thing in them? That's so crazy. Because it must remember the ID of the item that's in there. So it's like, oh, this item's in there also. Alright. So I'm just going to sell all those. I'm going to sell all these. And I'm going to sell most of that stuff. No, you don't have to worry about that, man. I have a very... I'm hashtag blessed that I have a decent job. I think part of the mic problem is also that the webcam I'm using has a built-in mic. So I don't think that helped, because I think it was like it didn't know which one to pick up. And if it's picking up the one in the webcam, I can't imagine it's a very good microphone. So that's probably why it was... And plus it's further away from my face, where it's like I have this mic right in front of me. Alright, there's that. This is going to sell for pennies, but it'll be worth it. And this stuff. Oh, and I got to pick up these things I left here. I thought I put them in the fridge. Did I not? I thought I did. I was like, oh, I'm going to leave these platforms and things here. Maybe I can't leave stuff in these containers. I thought I could. Tech console. Equip and enhance your techs at the station. Destroyed when broken. No. I don't need that. Alright. We're going to go to the vault. This vault should be a piece of cake. The last time I went to a vault, it was tough. But, now I have the cat move. I wish I could, like, change the pet that I have, too. I think humans only start with a cat. I wonder if that's something that you can change. There might be a mod for it. My buddy keeps sending me videos, and it's like, I want to watch this one video, but I'm streaming right now. I'll watch it after this. I'm probably going to end stream after I do this vault. Which this vault could take, like, not a crazy amount of time. Maybe like 15 minutes. So I think this is added for the Arcana mod that I have. So this is not... So this is not typical of the base game. But you get these ancient essence. The, yeah, like before when I was here, I was like struggling to kill these guys. Now it's like they're nothing. But you get these ancient essences, and then you can use them to, like, build things. And also to enhance any of your purple weapons. And this gun happens to be a purple weapon, so I want to see, like, how insane it can get from being upgraded. I don't think you can upgrade armor, although last time I went there, I did not have purple armor, I had blue armor. So maybe things will change. And if I have enough, I would like to upgrade my armor further. But I think there's probably something better I could make. This isn't like the top tier gear. What I would mostly want would be for survival too. How do I get to that chest? Oh, that's how. I have never seen those blocks before. Ooh, there's a little pressure plate right there. A rattling tile. I was hoping that would unlock the recipe. So this, yeah, like, there's no other loot here besides these ancient essences. And the last time I upgraded this sword used to do like 20-some damage, so like it nearly doubled it. So I can't imagine what this thing does 248 damage. For comparison, my sword does 40. And is already upgraded. Like, I can't imagine what this is gonna be. Is that blinking? What was that? I thought there was like a red light behind that. I didn't know if it was a bomb. Oh, he dropped storage matter. I've not seen them drop that before. That's from another mod though, so maybe like that, maybe that overruled it. This is gonna be easy work, I feel like. And I've already scanned pretty much everything the last time I was here in one of these. They all seem to be the same. This looks like literally exactly the same as the last one, except the corridors are different. That secret passage though, that was new. I've never seen that before. And the bosses have, there is a boss here, which is pretty cool. I like that more. There's like a mini boss, but they have like a cool pattern. The last guy, he was completely immune to damage. So you had to lure him into charging into these like blue fire things that were on the ground. And then he would get stunned, and while he was stunned, you could attack him. And this is the room. And that's the guy. That's the same guy. The arena looks different, though. Last time there were platforms here, now it looks like there's platforms there. I want to keep exploring, because I want to get more. If there... Ow. If there even is more. Oh, I should heal. If I die, I can come back to the same vault. The portal's only open for a little bit, though. Yeah, there's a whole other area over there. Goes this way. Oh yeah, there's so much more. So there's the... I love that. That's so cool. I wonder if that's something I can actually make. I've not messed around with the wiring and stuff in this game. Where'd that guy go? The homing makes this so easy. Maybe they do drop other things, because I had just dropped a Talon, and that's base game stuff. think I'm doing anything tomorrow. I might stream tomorrow. I'm trying to think what I'll play. I haven't played WoW in a little bit, so I might do that. I've just been playing Starbound and then, like, watching YouTube documentaries on, like, people I've never heard of and just being like, these people sound horrible. Or, like, these people sound awesome. Like, I heard one where it was, like, this guy that, like, he got canceled for, like, leaving his girlfriend in the hospital. And I was like, oh, this guy sounds like a real jerk. And then, like, here the story was, like, completely fake. And she just was using it for clout or something, and it was like, oh, okay. But, like, the guy still got canceled and is, like, not recovered in the 3 years since, and it's like, that's really shitty. That, like, one psychopath can do that. This just wraps back around. Did I just... I must have just taken a diverged path. Yeah, that's all it was. I just didn't go that way. And that's open. Was there a way this way? Hold on. There might be to the right that I didn't go. Yeah, I didn't go this way. Whoa, do not fall. Whoa, ass ahoy. Oh, hey Peter, you going to the big drink tonight? That might be the, that might have actually been the turning point for me, was I started watching Oni Plays. And, it was at the recommendation of a friend of mine, and I was like, oh, I don't know, man. They're probably like the Game Grumps. And he's like, no, they're better than them. And I was like, really? I was like, am I gonna get, like, addicted to these guys? And, they're really funny guys. And I got, but I'm an adult. I understand when to turn off the internet and to, go do other things. Unlike when I was obsessing over Game Grump stuff, back when I was working at Target in 2011. God, it's been that long. It feels like yesterday. Working in retail both was the worst job and the best job ever. And I don't think people understand that unless they've also worked in retail. Like, that's a job that I could definitely see myself going back to in the future if, like when I'm old. And it's like, I'm just doing it for fun. Like, that would be so much fun. Just, like, not care. Just be like, I'll do it whenever. There was just, like, this old guy who worked at my Target who was, like, so funny. And I don't know how old he was at the time. He was probably, like, in his 70s, he's probably dead now, which is sad. R.I.P. to a real one. I forget his name, too, which, like, that sucks even more, because he was such a nice guy. But I remember one time he was teaching me about what smegma was, and I was like, I've never heard of this before. And, like, I was of age, like, it's not like he was, like, some creepy old guy that was like, you underage kid, I'm gonna tell you about this thing that's disgusting. He was just like, this funny old guy, like, he was just trying to make me laugh. And it worked. I was like, this is so funny. I was like, thank you. I don't know how I've never known about this. I think he was telling me because, like, he worked in the dairy department, and he was telling me about the different cheeses there. And he just was like, oh, and smegma, too, is on the menu. And I was like, what kind of cheese is that? And then he told me, and I was like, you are hilarious, my good man. He was like, he's like, he collected around the tip. And I was like, sir, shake my hand, please. And it's like, I want to like, you know, like how people say like pass it along, like when you do something good and it's like you don't want anything in return, so pass it along. That's gonna be my pass it along. Is I'm gonna also be an old guy in his 70s telling not children but young adults who are of age about Smegma to make them laugh. I'm trying to think if he did anything else. That was like my only interaction that I remember. I remember seeing him also. It was really weird. I remember like um, right before I got fired from Target, which was like completely unjustified, but it was also like I needed to get out of there. So I don't hate them for it. But I was gonna take off so I could go to Disney World. Yeah, Disney World because it was Epcot. Disney World with my family, and then they let me go. And he was there. He was at Disney World, and I was like, "What are you doing here?" You like it was so weird. Like, why? Of all the people, that was so funny. He was like, "I'm here with my grandkids," and I was like, "Oh man, like enjoy your time." Like I didn't hold him up. I was like, "Go enjoy your time, man." But like I saw him like at whatever resort we stayed at in the park. That's a place that like you go to and you're just like, I think I'm good for a lifetime. At least for me. Like I can't see myself ever going back there. Oh shit, I gotta heal. I'm like not paying attention to my health. I'm just like la la la. I should also be using this other weapon I have, which is like not as powerful, but it's also like equally really cool. And it has like an alt fire where I have a shield. Like, that's significantly weaker than... Well, except when it bounces around like crazy like that. But it also doesn't cost energy. Like, I'm not... This is just free. Like, the green bar for my energy is what, like, balances weapons. Like, if I'm using this, like, it starts going down. It doesn't go down by a lot, though, which is, like, even crazier because this weapon's so powerful. This should be, like, taking up, like, a third of my bar easily each time I fire. Which is what rocket launchers normally do. Even the alt fire is, like, it's not as expensive, which usually the alt fire is more expensive. But then, like, I go to this thing where I have, like, these levitating balls, and the alt fire of the shield drains like crazy, but I could just be left-clicking, and these balls bounce around and do so much damage. Plus, it looks cool. Alright, so this is pretty much done here. Trying to think about like some other stories. I'm sure I've shared some of them too, but when I worked at Target, the best day of the year was Black Friday because we would be way overstaffed. So like you didn't need to worry about like you basically didn't have to work because there were that many people there, and we all just stood around. And like they would bring out pallets or like carts or something like that, and like there would be like 8 of us working on one pallet, so like we would finish in one like at once, like I don't know what word I'm even trying to think of, but we would finish like right away, like we would just be done. And so we would be overstaffed. We got paid a little bit more, which was like nice compared to like regular pay. And they had, like, a full catered dinner, which was amazing. And it was just like, there you go. And then, like, you just, like, and then you saw, like, the craziest stuff. Like, I never saw fights, but, like, what we did one year was, there was a TV. It was, like, how big was it? Maybe it was, like, 60 inches. It was, like, the 60-inch flat screen TV that went on sale for, like, $180, like something like at the time that was like insane. And we put it in the middle of the store next to like the baby clothes, because we were like instead of just putting it over by electronics, they were like, yeah, put it over here. We were like, that's hilarious. Like we were told by our managers to do that. And, like, we just hung around and waited for people to be like, they're over here! And, like, it just went wild. The worst was, like, there was, and this wasn't Black Friday, this was every, he might have been there every day. Every day there was this, like, comic book nerd-looking guy who would come in, and he would go to the Lego section, and he would look at all of the Lego, like the little mini bags with the minifigs, and you could go online and, like, look at, like, the barcode or something, and, like, apparently, like, if you knew the last 3 digits, like, it told you what minifig was in there, basically. So it was, like, just because, like, it makes sense because, like, when they were loading them up, just so that the bags, they made sure that there was a nice mixture, they would just, like, have some that were going to go into these numbered bags. So, like, it made sense from their end. But, like, that knowledge got out to people. So this guy would just come in and he would buy, like, all the specific numbered ones and then leave all the rest. And, like, just, like, people just weren't getting what they wanted. And then he started doing it with video game exclusive stuff. Like, he came in and we were selling... there was a Pikachu 3DS that was exclusive, and this is when I worked in the electronics department, and we only had 3 of them, which was so dumb. We have 3, and he wanted to buy all 3, and we were like, no, it's limited 1 per customer. So he bought 1, ran to the exit, and then ran back in. Which to see a man who's like easily 400 pounds run 100 feet and back again as fast as he could was hilarious. But then he would leave, he would run into the entrance and then just be like, I'm a new customer, I want to buy another one. And I think we respected the hustle so much, we were like, okay. he did it a second time, and then we sold him the 3rd one, and we were like, all right, it's all yours, man. Like, we did not care. We were not paid enough to care. He did the same thing when that game Skylanders came out. There was an exclusive figure. That game was so good. That game, I don't know how that game didn't, like, isn't still relevant. But there was a figure that was exclusive to Target, and we only got, like, 12 of them. So he came in with his wife, and who I assume is his wife. Might be some prostitute he paid. But they also had a child with them. And they were like, well, I'm going to buy one, because we were limiting 1 per person also. I'm going to buy one. My wife is a separate customer. She will buy one. And then the child will buy one. So, and then they did the same thing where they ran to the door each time. And it was just like, I like the hustle. So they bought us completely out of stock. And he would be there an hour before we opened, pacing back and forth at the door, waiting for us to unlock it. And then we would unlock the door, and he would, like, push us out of the way to run to the electronic and toy department, which were the same department. And then just, like, buy whatever was going for the most money on eBay, I guess. Yeah, that guy was so funny. I've just respected the hell out of that hustle. He was like, I'm a different customer now. And I was like, that is... Sir, that is a Giga Chad move. You can buy the toy made for a child now. You have my respect. I feel like he did it with, like, a franchise, too. I think he also, like, was really into collecting Transformers stuff. And he would get... And the girl I was dating at the time worked at my Target, and she was really into Transformers, like, to a weird degree, where I was like, okay, I guess I signed up for this. And she would be pissed whenever she saw him, because she knew he was, like, he would be the first one in there, and she'd be like, I wanted that Optimus Prime, or I wanted that Bumblebee figure. And I would just be like, well, you weren't quick enough. I think the dude's name was Pete, and we called him Pistol Pete because he was quick as a whip. When, like, in reality, like, outside of, like, his ability to be really good at, like, selling stuff on eBay. He did not seem like the smartest person. Alright, we're about to just destroy this boss. Unless he's, like, immune to all damage again or something. Yeah, immune to all damage. So we're gonna jump up here. He's gonna make this the floor. And then we have to get him to attack that. He missed. He might summon stuff. Okay, there we go. Oh my god. Wow. This weapon does not seem fair. That was way too easy. Last time I did it, it was almost like he was a 3... What's it called? A 3, he had like 3 stages. Okay, and these things were cool. So these things, like, you can put down... I've not used the one that I got before, but you can put them down and they transform the climate of an entire planet, which is so cool. I think they also drop them. Terraform an area. Okay, so he gives you the ones that just are an area. This is an entire planet. An area is pretty cool. Like, you can change, like, where your base is into a different one. What did he give me? Giant flowers. That's pretty cool. The other one I got was that it was it became like a flesh biome, which sounds gross. Oh, no weapons to upgrade. That sucks. Were there any weapons I wanted to upgrade though back on the ship? Do I want to buy one of these maybe? I could. Volcanic, Taiga, Apocalyptic Wasteland. I should have all of these. Bizarrely mutated alien ecosystem. Verdant patchwork of open meadows. That sounds pretty. Venom samples. Overgrown jungle. Snow and ice. Alright, there should be time... Then I have to run through here again, but all the mobs are gone. Like, you can't just come in here and... Like, you have to... So I get, like, 3,000 per run, which isn't too bad. How much time's left on it? 6 minutes. Alright, we're gonna go back to my ship. Go back to my ship to go to my home base to get venom samples. Oh, I only have 9. Alright, it's not going to happen. I'll just save it up for next time, though. That would be cool to see how it works. Do I have any that's... I need 50. None of these it looks like I've got 50. I've got 50 batteries, but there's nothing for that. I need Scorch. That's what one of them. The Cryo. Well, Venom, I think. Hold on. We're going to cheese this, boys. Because the dude at the outpost, I added that mod that lets him sell monster drops, and Venom samples should be a monster drop. So we're gonna cheese the hell out of this. Yes. Can I just type it in? Just give me a 50. And I'm already here. Teleport down. Go, go, go. Don't accidentally click the close vault button. Alright, let's run. I don't think it was too far in, because I think that was the first place I went to by accident. I'm gonna get the verdant lush jungle one, and then I'll find a planet to use it on. I'll see how that even works. Like, do I have to be on the planet to use it, or is it more like you hover over it? Because it would be weird to be on a planet while it's terraforming. That sounds dangerous. Oh yeah, these stupid spikes can't be destroyed. Did I scan this before? Alright, cool. Alright, so jungle, verdant patchworks of open meadows, mutated alien ecosystem, temperate forest. I want this one. This one sounds pretty. What we'll do, seal the ship up. Bookmarks. I think Neo Earth is where my base is. Oh, no. This is the barren wasteland. Okay. So we're going to turn this barren planet into a lush jungle. We'll see how this works. A planet's climate into a verdant patchwork of open meadows. Transforms an area of a planet into a patch of giant flowers. That sounds cool. The giant plant biomes are nice. Alright. So I have not walked on this planet, but this was a planet that so there are barren planets, which there's nothing at all here. And you can use them, like, as whatever. Like, there's no resources. Like, it's nothing. There's no coal. There's no gold. There's nothing here. So I want to see if this adds any of that stuff. Oh, you have to pump it full of essences. Interesting. Interesting. Do I get this back if I destroy it? Oh. Okay, good. Oh, that would have sucked if I don't. So this probably uses... Oh, it's free. I want to take that back. Because I want to use that afterwards. So I would need to go to another vault. That's probably what I'll do next time. Oh, but that is Starbound. You can see here are my mods. Optimize bound. Library code and system. 2-hour hunger. Yeah, hunger is usually 30 minutes you get hungry. They extend it to 2 hours. So you don't have to worry about it too much. Which is not too bad. I just got the natural stone, natural liquid one. Plant search I just got. Petals monster drops. So yeah, some of these I just got. Illuminated chest is really nice. Arcana is the big one that I have. Enhanced storage is really good. Yeah, normally you drop everything in your inventory on death, and that was like a huge bummer for me. I was like, just turn that off, so I got that. And then you can beam up for survival. Normally you can only beam up at certain areas. You can't like dig all the way down and then just beam up. Easy hunger for casual. So like if I took this off, it probably would make the 2 hours better. Yeah, all these good mods. No pixel loss for casual. Yep, so no pixels. Or for survival. Make the GUI, make the windows bigger. Automatic doors is nice. Weapons have stats. I took away, normally when you're on a moon, there's like a ghost that's chasing after you, and you can't kill the ghost. You can't do anything to get rid of the ghost. And as soon as it touches you, you die. So it's like the ghost in Spelunky. But like, I'm going to moons just to get fuel. I'm not going to moons to do like anything crazy. So there being a ghost there is dumb, so I removed it. This is so that worthless bricks like moon dust can be refined into stone, which makes them look nice. More poses, snow. Every time you broke snow, you would get snowballs, so your inventory would just fill up with snowballs, so that was a good mod to get for this one. Some of these are just like aesthetic stuff. Instant crafting. Normally it crafts one item at a time. This is, you need that. And then this must have just been like I tried to make a mod, and I just because I wanted to see the interface. So yeah, those are my mods in Starbound. I'll play this again sometime, but I'll probably play something tomorrow different. Is there a Star Trek mod? There's probably a Star Trek mod. I played Star Trek Online and it was something. Yeah, I've heard that that's like it's one of those games where it's like you have to like really know what you're signing up for. Like my buddy, I helped him. I might have shared this last time, but I helped. He was really insistent on getting. I'm looking at my mouth for my model right now, and it's like not moving right. I don't know why. But he was really insistent on getting a laptop with Windows 7 on it, and I think he got a laptop that had. It was something old. It was something where like I looked at the specs and I was like, dude, like, what are you using this for? Like, it was like parts that he got from like a garage sale, and it was like, it was not. I was like, just go out and buy another computer. Like at this point, like this is such a waste of time. And he was building it so that, well, he wasn't building because he doesn't know how to build it. He was trying to find someone to build it, and he's like, he was like, Zudi, you work in technology. Can you build this for me? And I was just like, no, like it's very different. Windows 7 is based, but like he was doing it just so that he could play CD-ROM games, and I was like, you can just have like DOSBox or like some kind of like some interface where it emulates you having Windows 7 without having to have Windows 7, because he just like he refuses to use new technology, which fine, like you don't want to use new technology, that's fine, like I get it, but like it's kind of like to an extreme degree. And I remember I was talking to someone in the main Discord I'm in, and I explained like, oh yeah, he's in the military, and they were like, oh, that's why, like because the military uses only old tech, and he is older than me too, so that might lead into it. But anyway, he was doing all of this because he wanted to run a server off of his laptop for the Star Wars Galaxy MMO, and I was like, for you to run a server for any MMO, you would not need, like, this is not what you need. Like, the specs of the computer are barely enough for you to play this game. He thought that the specs to play it were the minimum to run a server for it. And yeah, Windows 8 was awful. I skipped right past that. I think my laptop was Vista forever, and then I think I jumped right to Windows 10. Like, I think that was the next jump I did. It was dreadful being on Vista for so long. But yeah, like he wanted to run an MMO server for this Star Wars game. So he was like, I need your help running this server and getting it working. And I'm like, he messaged me like on the worst day. This was recent too. He messaged me on like the worst day ever. Like I'm out doing stuff and I'm not having a good time. And I was just like, how do I tell this guy that like this is not gonna work? But instead, I turned around and was like, oh, there's a group of people who already have established servers that you can just join, because your laptop can play the game and you're able to sign up for, like, just go play on the server, and then anyone in our friend group who wants to play can join. And yeah, Vista was terrible. Just the basics of like running Vista felt so weird. I didn't run into too many problems. Like, I would hear people like have horror stories of like blue screening like crazy. I think I might have blue screened once or twice, and it was definitely like due to overheating, because I would just play WoW like crazy, and it's like, oh, that it just overheated. So he plays on the server, and he's like, join the website, let's play together. And I was like, okay, fine. So I get home later that day, I download the client to play the game, it tells you that you need a legitimate CD copy to play. The website was very much like, torrents for this will not work. You need a legit CD. So I find a torrent for it, and it works. So I don't know what they're talking about. I get on there after spending, it didn't take too long, maybe like 20 minutes for me to like do the sign up, download, install everything, whatever. Like I get everything going. I jump into the game. I play for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it was the most miserable experience in my life. Related to MMOs, that is. It was not good. It was really not good. So usually in an MMO, you use WASD or arrow keys to move. This was left click to move. So I'm like, okay, combat's gonna be weird. And I was like, okay, well, what about key bindings? What does my 1 key do? What does my 2 key do? And it just types it in the chat bar for you, because you just have open chat all the time and you can't toggle it off. So that means that most of your keyboard you can't use as hotkeys for anything. Like, you can't even use the numpad. You can't use any of like the punctuation mark. You were stuck with F1 to F12 and your mouse. I think you could use the arrow keys, but that was like tank controls, so it was like that was the camera. It was really weird, and it was just bad. It was an awful experience. But I was like, I have to do it. Like, I just have to keep playing. Maybe it gets better. This game looks so cool. There's gotta be something here. This guy has been telling me about this MMO for as long as I've known him, which is probably going on like 20 years now. Like, I've known this guy for a long time, and he has always talked about how this game is fantastic and how it's so great and it's amazing. And I spent an hour and a half playing around. Even though the server said that it had like several hundred people playing, I didn't see anybody. But I think that's because it's also like open galaxy, so like you could literally be anywhere in all of the Star Wars. Like, you go to any planet, which is pretty cool. So like, of course, like, you bumping into another player is probably way more difficult. But like, there was no quality of life features in the game. Like, everything involved, like, even just to like go to a different location. So like, typically in an MMO, like, if you want to go from point A to point B, you either have to walk there, or you have to use some kind of like, I'm just gonna say flight path, because that's what WoW uses. They use like flight path masters that you go to, and like, if you've unlocked one location and another, you could fly to it. Typically you have to walk to it, but this is Star Wars, so like, you need to go to other planets. How do you do that? Like, you can't walk to another planet. You don't have a ship. You don't start off with a ship, so you can't fly there. So what you have to do is you have to buy a ticket to go onto a shuttle, to go onto the ship. But like, you need to pass customs, and then like, you need to have like certain things, like you have to like give up like weapons and stuff like that, which like, you have starter weapons, so it's like you have to give those, and you have to drag that by yourself out of the inventory. So I was like, why can't I get on the shuttle? And it's like, it kept throwing me back the error, like, that I couldn't get on the shuttle. And like, I had to look up a guide, and it was like, you have to like move it into this inventory, and it's like, it was like way too much. And then it's not even like that you click on the thing and then you go to the destination. You had to wait for the shuttle to come back, and they like come around like every 10 minutes. So like, if you miss the shuttle, you have to wait 10 minutes, which like, even in World of Warcraft with the Zeppelins that do the same thing where you have to wait for them to show up, I think they're on like a 2 to 5 minute long interval. Like, it's not bad. And it's just like, this is a nightmare. Like, and this is just, I'm in the starting town, and I'm just trying to leave the tutorial area, which the tutorial area was like a 300-page wall of text. Like, it was not it was not made for people who were new to the game who've never played it before. It was definitely made for people who were like, oh, I understand exactly how ridiculous this game is. And eventually I do get to another planet, and I'm like, okay, I need to see. I'm probably going to be some kind of like merchant character because you can do whatever you want in the system. I'm going to just be somebody who like harvests materials from monsters or something like that. So I'm like, okay, I got to see how combat is. I need to know because if I just have a mouse and 12 buttons on my keyboard to use all my abilities for, like, what is combat like? And I can't find a monster to fight, but I find a Gungan to fight. And so I walk up to the Gungan and I equip my dagger. And okay, I go into combat and I'm waiting for like combat attack like options, like special abilities or something to show up on my hotbar, and it's literally just like it's slowed down turn-based combat, but all you can do is a basic attack, and it took forever to kill the Gungan, and I barely won, and then it didn't drop anything, and then I think I barely got any experience, and to unlock like the next basic attack you need to level up, and it's like I don't know what to do. Like, you guys dumped me off in like the worst place. You didn't give me any kind of tutorial. The you tell me that I can rebind all of these keys, which is just a lie. I can't do anything. And it felt very unwelcoming in that sense. Like, no one directly said it or did anything to me, but because of it trying to exclude me as like, oh, well, you never played this game before, so you're just gonna have to read this wall of text. Like, I don't care enough to do that. Like, I'm just here to see what the game is like. And if you're trying to introduce me to a server that requires donations, like, you want to be inclusive of other people who I wanted to like the game. It sounded amazing, and it just was not good. And then a week later I saw my friend in person, and I told him, I was like, I can't play this game. This game's awful. And I think he was like, yeah, I think I was looking through it through nostalgia, because I don't think it clicked very well with him either. So in the end, like, neither of, like, we went through all of this headache, and it was just, it didn't matter. It was just it was just a bad game. That sucked. It was what a dreadful experience that was. I've definitely played worse MMOs, but that was like, I felt like I was beating my head against the wall for the hour and a half I was playing. It was not fun. Anyway, it's late. Thank you to anyone who stuck by. I'll try to stream tomorrow. I'll probably just play WoW, or maybe do like a wheel of games again. See if just play a random Steam game. Yeah, I still don't know how to close these streams out, so I'm just gonna hit the stop streaming button.